And welcome back to Critters Take on the Tomb of Annihilation. We return here after our group has just visited the Oracle of Oralunga, or the Guardian Naga as it was. They ventured through the jungle just a bit more and came upon a creature known as an Aarakocra, a creature that goes by the name of Paw. They made their way towards the big ziggurat that was Oralunga, and it seemed to be some kind of magically sealed staircase that they were unable to ascend unless they did three different things. The first one was figure out which one of the statues was lying. There was two statements made by CToTToA stating how he rose to power and how he left. After that, they made it to the second test, in which they had to give away one of their most precious items in the aspect of not knowing whether or not they'd get it back. Once doing that, they eventually made their way up to the third test, in which they needed to trust in CToTToA in order to make it to the next step. And there was a large bowl of fire in front of them. And the test was concluded once they stuck their hands in the fire, or basically set themselves ablaze until they reached 1 HP, and then at 1 HP they were magically restored and passed their final test. Once reaching the top after completing all of these tests, they found a magical doorway, and once stepping through this doorway, they were all transported individually in front of a gigantic guardian naga, a night sky above them now instead of daytime, and a large wooden throne. The naga gave each and every one of them individually a personal question to ask about themselves, or their adventure, or anything they wanted, and the guardian naga would do their best, or her best, to answer. Each character was given a set of answers, or a long-winded answer, and even given some warnings and some pretenses and maybe some foreshadowing into their futures, be it not very clear and not very like this is what's going to happen, but a bit of a warning as to what is to come. After that, the group all reappeared in front of each other, but unfortunately one of their members, Velisra, had fallen during this interaction with the Naga for some reason, and the crew, or the group of people, they all decided to come together as a group and bolster their love for Velisra, and change the Guardian Naga's mind in the killing of Velisra. Once resurrected, Velisra came to, very groggy and hurt. But the Guardian Naga was able to give them answers towards what they believe is the location of this death curse, or the obelisk per se, in the abandoned city, or the forbidden city of Omu, down to the south. After doing that, they were all released from this realm that they were in, on top of the ziggurat. They reappear on top of the ziggurat, the sky returning to where it was, this time kind of encroaching on nighttime. And each and every one of the the group here, they all felt very, very different. Many of them given boons by the god, what seems like boons by the gods. Some of them able to breathe underwater now. Some of them feel hardier. Some of them feel malformed, almost like their form shape-shifting. But oddly enough, all of their trinkets that they had previously given away return to them now, as they sit upon this the top of the ziggurat. Paw takes a look at everybody, smiles, and she says, "I need to give this information to my people." Woof, 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 as she flies towards the mountains, towards Mbala.
Good
All
luck.
right.
Bah! I go.
Be
It's
safe.
Ka!
Good luck. Ka!
All right, and she flies away.
You guys, I have kills. This is amazing.
Yes,
look-
me too. It's
You
so
too?
weird.
You have the same? Oh.
My neck feels
I mean, that's
funny.
cool.
It feels a little cold, is that right?
Yes, it does.
Aelin kind of frills out his gills, and they're very orange in color
I will frill mine out too.
to show off her pink inflection.
Calamar's kind of touching them and looking somewhat confused and a little perturbed.
Flipping them like a loose piece of skin on his neck.
Slightly disturbed.
That was an actual gag by Cecilia.
Yes, it was.
Did anyone else feel different? Is it just us?
I mean, I feel a bit stronger. Like I can take a beating
You look
better
stronger.
than I before maybe, but
Velisra, after coming
Wow.
back, you have 1 level of exhaustion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Also,
I'll go sit next to
during the
Velisra.
during the recap, it should be noted that the entire time the Naga was talking to Velisra, she was calling her Thessalia.
Yes. Oh, we remembered. We remember.
It was more for the watchers, but yeah.
We just have a couple of questions, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but Velisra, as opposed to anything, Velisra, you're very exhausted. That's basically the extent.
So
of it.
unless being very tired is a superpower, no. I don't have like magical gills or anything.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you were already
feel
pretty
the
cool.
same.
Thank you.
I feel malleable. Does that make sense?
Not really.
No, it doesn't.
Especially
really.
since you're like an oak.
How does this power work? Can I just... Because I haven't had a long rest. Does it count from now? Can I do it now?
You can do it in the morning time.
Ah, tomorrow then.
suddenly wake up, bam, she's a panda.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Bax?
I don't know, there's this panda here, I don't know.
It has these weird spots on its shoulders.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably set up camp. It's quite late, so it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to talk. We need to talk about.
So, as you are atop of the ziggurat, you can see pretty far into the jungle from this point. But poking up over the top step of the ziggurat, you see a small black figure with curly black hair and a white mask. Just kind of like peeking up over the step and like looking at you and like tilting its head.
Oh, look, it's the fairy.
Oh, it's a chewinga.
Hey!
And you see 2 more heads boop, boop, pop up next to it.
Oh,
Am I the only one seeing double?
I think it's triple.
Yes, I'm seeing triple.
Eku kind of like kneels down without like her knees touching the ground, but just kind of like kneels down, and she kind of like sets her hand out like she's trying to call after them. And you hear them
I'll
kind of like
say-
squeaking at each other.
Aelin will say in Sylvan, he'll say, "Hello there, little ones. Can you understand me?"
You hear them towards each other.
Huh.
And you see one slowly climb up over the edge of the staircase on like all 4s and starts like crawling towards the group slowly.
Oh, it thinks it's stealthing towards us.
I like it. Okay, I'm gonna kneel down
Everyone
and I'm
acts
gonna
like
put
you
my
don't.
hand out.
It gets right up next to Cecilia's hand, not moving, and then takes its hand and goes "Doop," and touches Cecilia's hand for a second. And then like kind of picks its head back up and looks over at the other chewingas that are now they went from like this to like getting low as they watch. And as the other one looks over, it like the other ones start to slowly pop back up, and then them themselves kind of crawl up over and start crawling towards you guys.
Was it you guys that helped us? It was very nice of you.
I will lay on my stomach so my face is very close to the ground.
As you lay down, one comes up and is like nose to nose with you at this point, and you're just kind of staring into its eyes. You boop it, and it like and just like backs up. And then suddenly, whoop, they all pop up. They're all standing now, and you can see them kind of like looking at each other, and they look over at you, and they kind of go over to each other and get into a little huddle, and you can hear chitter chatter like.
Like miniature us.
Yeah, they are very strange creatures.
I like them.
And you could see one of them look at the group and nod and begin to run off towards the staircase, and the other two look both ways and run off towards the staircase as well.
I'm gonna see if I can follow them.
Yep.
Okay, you run off towards the staircase and you see them bounding down the steps one at a time. One falls and trips a little bit and falls down a couple steps, gets back up and continues to bound.
Should we follow?
I
All of
wanna
us?
follow.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna follow
Yep.
it, sure.
Yep.
I mean, he just touched my
I
hand.
mean-
We're friends.
Yeah. I got booped. I'm a
Maybe
tribe member
not run
now.
after strange things in the jungle.
Yeah, that would be better.
Too late.
Echo will look at you and
As
she's
you
like,
see feathers disappear behind it.
Echo
Top of the
turns
ground.
towards you and she just says, "They are good omens. We should follow."
If you say so, you're the expert.
Yes, expert. Let's go.
Cesalia, I do have some questions for you, but they must wait, it seems. I'll turn and start following.
Yes. Well, I won't
I'll
stay
look
alone
at
in the
Katie.
jungle, no way.
Making their way down to the bottom of the ziggurat, just after about a minute or so, they turn around to look as Cecilia and Safi are kind of sprinting down the staircase towards them. And once making it down to the ground, the Chewingas look like they're cheering you on as you're coming down the steps. And they make their way kind of past the tied up Deinonychuses there next to it, and you can see like the Deinonychuses like lifting up their feet as they get near them, kind of like an elephant scared of a mouse almost. And they make their way into the bush next to the dinos.
Do we crash into the bush? Sure.
Okay.
You first.
Let's just get to a halt last minute and just let me overtake you.
Yeah.
So before you
Clear
break
a
the
path
barrier
for my
of
face.
the jungle, Safi just past you. Safi, you break the barrier of the jungle there, and a very odd sight now confronts you. You remember coming through this part of the jungle as part of your trek here. And as you remember it, there was not this bit of clearing. You remember it pretty thickly, just kind of jungled up in that area. But now you see this kind of a small clearing, but in front of you is what really catches your eye. You see what looks like, almost like liquid, like a mirror-like liquid that is covering almost like a dome-like area in front of you for what looks like 100 feet in the air, to over the jungle and past your current vision. And through this warbled water, through what you can see like this very weird mirror-like appearance, through it you can see pink and purple colors.
That is so cool. Are you seeing this?
I'm behind her. I'm behind her.
You are currently outside the jungle if you wanted to go in as well.
Yeah,
This was
I
as soon as she
can go in
entered.
and see them.
So you kind of like push through past the Deinonychuses, and
I
as
know
you do,
screams.
you're like met up with this thing.
Are
Safi,
yours?
you see the three creatures that were right there looking at you, hands down at their sides, much like children looking up at you, looking towards the warble, looking back up at you, and then running into the water, like creating quite like a ripple almost through the material. And it goes 1, 2, 3, and much like 3 skipping stones into water, you see ripples through the material.
You want
Yep.
to test those skills, or? Yeah. Okay. I'll be here.
Okay. Bye.
By now, the rest of the group, you guys have made it down to the bottom, towards the Dynamite.
I should wait. If it's a water thing, I should wait for the other people who got the same thing that I did.
You don't need to wait.
If you want to jump in, jump in.
Yeah. Also, Dan, the colors, would those be like similar colors as to the colors that I saw in Little Street when we first entered the jungle? Because I saw Chewinga there.
They are not reminiscent of like poisonous dart frogs like you had seen before.
Okay. That's great to know.
I
about that after I tell her to go.
Start frogs.
They it is reminiscent.
Go by yourself. It's fine.
It is reminiscent of pinks and purples and some blues.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Okay. How do you want to go in? Like, what are you doing to enter this area?
I will flop my gills
Bloop.
and stick my head in.
You stick your head in.
Okay, no, I'm going in first, Sappy. Yeah.
So, arms down at your side, you lean forward, and you hold your breath, and you lean forward, and you open your eyes, and when you believe yourself to be what you should be underwater because of the feeling of this barrier, you look, and it's more jungle.
Oh man.
But the jungle is different. The jungle is not jungle leaves, it is more of a forest. And the forest leaves are that of pinks and purples, greens and blues. The tree bark itself is no longer the dark, almost blackened wood that you have seen throughout the jungle here. It is more of a light, like a light brown, very light brown.
I will step in.
And you see like swirls of purplish like color kind of creeping up through the tree itself. You step in, bloop, bloop, and again, you want to believe that you're going to be wet because the feeling of the entrance of it is like water, but you are bone dry. And you can turn around and you look, and you now see the warbled shadow of Cecilia just standing behind you.
Do I still see her
Can I
shape,
stick my hand out?
You
through
do.
the
You
barrier
see.
and
You
go like
see.
this?
You see Safi's warbled shadow as well, on the other side.
I will stick my hand out and make a come here motion, or sort of like come grab my hand and I'll pull you through.
So a hand just bloop, pops out.
I'll join in.
Okay. Rest of the group, as soon as Cecilia grabs Safi's hand and then gets pulled through this water-like material, the rest of the group, you now see Cecilia go through this water-like material.
Welp. I guess we're 5 now.
That doesn't seem healthy. Is there anything in the pool? I'll stand over it and look into the water.
You look in, and it's very difficult to determine anything on the other side aside from colors.
Can I just kind of go in there?
Sure, if you'd like.
Like, I don't know. I feel like there should be a the gravity change, but I kind of just want to wade into the water and see what happens if half my body just disappears or
Yeah. So Bax kind of grabs towards the water and begins to like swim through it as if she needed to, and then kind of just walks into the other area, kind of swinging her arms, and then puts them down to her side. You see a very excited Eku and leap next to you on the other side, past the remaining 4.
Oh my god.
I will cast Detect Magic, hoping to not see anything bad. What am I getting from the pool?
You are getting a shit ton of magic. The entirety of the thing
wait,
is magic.
never mind. Did not prepare it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
So you see nothing.
Alright.
I wish I had the ability to see magic right now.
Nobody sees anything.
And I'll...
Oh my god.
It's just water.
Have I prepared?
Well, if Echo dares to go forward, I think I will as well. I'll wait in.
Why?
Well, I'll fate that of us combined, I think.
It might.
That doesn't make
probably,
sense.
It's just still the Naga manipulating us.
I'll send Larry inside, and I'll look through his eyes to see what I see in there, if it has a connection.
Larry kind of looks at you like very hesitantly.
It'll be okay, buddy. Just go and check it out. If something happens, I'll call you back.
One eye still looking at you, one eye turns towards the water, and then the other
You're
eye
the
joins it.
buddy.
He walks through, and you kind of look through it, and now you can see a very confused Bax, a very excited Safi, a very confused Cecilia, and a very happy Eku awaiting you on the other side.
I'll just say, they all seem to be okay over there. They're in like another place. I suppose this is a portal or some sort to another world.
And therefore we want to go through it.
Well, they all seem to be doing okay.
Go
Yes,
to
but
the
how
water,
does that
then go
help
to the surface,
our-
I'll just start moving.
But wait, that doesn't help us.
But if it's a portal to another place, how do we get back? How do we? We have
I'll
to.
call
do
Larry
stuff.
back. Can he come back?
We need to do stuff.
Larry attempts to kind of walk back, and as he attempts to walk back, it's like, and he gets pushed back almost like goo.
Oh no. Larry can't come back.
Oh, yay!
So
Oh,
wait,
shit.
what does that mean?
Sorry, Larry.
Crap.
Larry begins to kind of panic and do like figure
Do I see
eights.
Larry?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, did we see that?
Oh yeah, you see Larry.
Can we
I'll
go
pick
back?
him. I'll pick him up.
Can I
Okay.
move him back into
You pick
his-
him up, and he's like, his legs are like running in your arms.
I will
Can I-
scratch. I will scratch him under his neck. Try and calm him.
Can
Can
I
I try
move
and
him
go
back
back?
into my dimension?
He poofs away and then reappears
Oh
on
no,
your
Larry!
shoulder.
Killed him!
Oh my god, I killed Larry!
I have an
Here he
idea.
is.
I have an idea. I take down a piece of paper and say, "Can you come back through the portal?" And I hand it to Larry. Can he bring them this?
Sure.
I'm already trying to go back, but
Okay.
Nice.
Larry, very hesitant,
up.
even more hesitant this time. Kind of like puts the piece of paper in his mouth, and you can see him hanging his head low and begins to walk through
You're
the
the
gate.
bravest, Larry. You're the best.
And now you see Larry coming through with a tiny little scroll in his mouth,
Oh,
and he
thank
looks up
God.
at the group.
I pick up the scroll.
You unfurl it, and it says, "Can you come through?
Can you come back?
Can you come back?"
I'm gonna write on it and say no and put it back.
I will at the very least try to get back.
Larry attempts to go back and bonks his head again on the
I put no
rubber-like
on there.
material.
Do I see
Send
him
help.
bonking his head?
No, send help.
Yeah, you
is
see
what I
him. You see
wrote
him
on.
hitting it, and it creates a ripple. But he just like he looks like he's now like taking his head and like pushing into the dirt and not getting any headway.
I'll try to stick.
But
my hand
Aelin
through.
can see that.
Yeah, I'll
Can
see
see
through Larry's
that
eyes.
CC hasn't actually tried, right?
CC,
Yeah.
has not officially tried.
I'll stick my hand. Try to
the
stick
other-
my
You
hand.
do.
through.
You touch, and your fingers kind of curl when it hits because it is unable to pass
Huh.
through the barrier.
That's weird. I didn't do that before.
I'll poof Larry back.
Okay,
Fuck.
Larry. Poof.
Well, they appear to be stuck in there.
Guess we have to go forward.
Well,
What do we do?
How do we get them back?
If I'm not mistaken, also when you poof Larry out, the paper remains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
paper remains, and then you poof Larry back in, and it's now on your shoulder.
Well, they went ahead and did what
Normally
we
I would do.
told not to do since the beginning of when we left the Port Zaru. So I guess it's unto them. We can't
Kalimbar
really.
also went through, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So
Eku.
I'm
it's
just taking a look
us.
around now. I'm like,
It's us three,
touch
yeah.
the portal.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not giving, and I'm like, oh well. I'll turn around and start taking a look to the forest.
They've been known to be good omens, so
Yes, Eku said they were good omens, but
Yeah, her
going
also.
through a one-way trip to another dimension, I've heard tales of this stuff. This is probably mostly bad.
This is
Also,
indeed
like
bad.
even if it's good, it's not gonna be for where we need to go.
That doesn't help us with Restless Sea.
Yes. So,
Are there any? Oh, sorry.
what do we do? What do we do? Are we going in, or are
No.
we trying to find another way?
We can try to find another way. We can give them hints
we-
or directions from here with Larry, anyways.
Yeah, can we give them time to find a way back? Is wait, what use are we with most of them over there?
I mean, not to brag, but we're all the most powerful of the group. Obviously.
Oddly enough, you guys don't hear them. Whenever they're speaking like this, those on the other side, you don't hear anything.
Yeah,
you hear
I
what you hear is
figured.
this. What you hear is. Cecilia.
Well,
I'm gonna see and try if I can stick my hand through or my face
Yeah,
through.
unfortunately, it bonks against the material almost as. Yeah, it's not like you're not hitting
Wow,
your
okay,
head against.
Magic.
You're not
You're
hitting your head
strong,
against
but
a.
you're not that strong.
You're not hitting your head against like a board or a rock or anything like that. It's very rubbery, almost like a gelatin.
Can I when I do that, do they notice that or?
Yeah, there's a ripple that gets sent out where it contacts.
Can we? Do you think if I stuck my hand through, could I jack them out? Maybe.
Ooh, maybe you could do that. Or
Or they're gonna drag me in.
that's a very good idea. You should try.
Maybe we should write them first so that they don't drag me in.
I
Also,
don't think
yeah,
they
you're
would drag you in.
stronger.
You don't think they'll drag me in?
I don't think so.
I mean, if you're a bear, you could easily overpower any.
But I would not be able to, grab anybody as a bear.
well, you can bite them and pull them in.
But then I would have to go in face.
Yes, that would be too dangerous. What if What if we both try?
And leave me alone? No way.
Yeah.
All three of us try then.
Bullshit. I don't touch that shit.
Wait. You know what we can do? We have rope and there's trees.
Yes, we can try that.
True. But yes, we can try that.
And
I can send
Timey-
Larry in with the rope.
Well,
We
that
know I
could
can get
also
there.
work, I guess. I meant like tie a rope around me and then I'd jack them
Oh.
out. But
Kalimbar, as they contemplate on their next move, Kalimbar, you notice that around you, the creatures that were tweeting and the parrots that were cawing and the monkeys that were hooting all throughout the jungle and everything like that has seemingly come to a stop. And what now you hear is very peaceful sounds of songbirds and fluttering of a soft fluttering of wings throughout this part of what looks like a forest instead of a jungle. And you look down and around you, you see small almirages, the rabbits with horns, kind of grazing in the purplish grass.
I'm wondering if I may have ever heard or read about a place like this. Could I?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. This seems very much Feywildish.
Okay, well, this is
as-
a good
as it
place
is
for my people.
Very
I'd
elven
say.
in nature.
We are in a good place now. I hope the others join us soon.
All right. The other three, you contemplate
Right.
still what to do.
So we tie a rope around you, Katie.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Just be
Yes.
careful, and we'll tie a rope around her.
Okay.
Sure.
Rope gets tied.
Don't play
Okay.
hero.
Katie, what are you doing?
I'll
make sure that I cannot get pulled completely through with the rope, so that I would still like be mostly on this side.
Okay.
And I wanna hold, I guess, Dylan in one hand so that he can help me drag somebody through, and then I would stick my other hand through the portal.
Okay, your hand goes through the portal. Everybody, you can now see
Try
Katie's
and, like,
hand
grab.
as it is out, kind of going like this.
Hey, you don't know what we're planning, so you just see my hand.
Safi,
I may
you
not
made it.
even notice. I may not even notice it because I'm probably just looking at the cute
Yeah, you probably
bunnies.
turned around looking at stuff.
I'm wandering a little forward into the Feywild. So.
Bax
taking
and
it.
Cecilia, you
Comments.
are still currently close to that area.
I'm gonna pull the hand.
I
You
will try
begin to
and-
feel a little bit of pull against your hand.
I'll try.
I mean, like really pull, like not
Yeah.
just
Oh, you want to
I'll-
yank her in?
Oh yes.
I will tuck her back.
All right. I need opposing strength checks real quick.
And I have the rope and Aelin on my other arm, so
Yeah,
Right.
can we help her out?
Yeah, she'll have advantage on it. Cecilia, just roll a straight
It's not
check.
gonna help because I have minus strength.
13. I mean,
Okay.
I have a
you
0
have
strength, so
advantage. You can do this.
do it, girl.
Okay, wait. Okay, so it was it? Which was it? Strength,
It's a
acrobatics,
strength.
athletics?
It's a direct strength check to see if you can pull against her pull.
Natural 20.
All right. So,
that's
Cecilia,
a
as
19.
you try to pull her through, she grabs onto your hand and pulls you, and your hand gets smashed into the wall, crumpling your
Fuck.
wrist a little bit.
You hear
And
me
her
curse,
arm
like whoever's
kind of
nearby.
pulls straight through. Cecilia, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as your hand literally just gets crushed against the wall as she pulls through
Cecilia.
very strongly.
Language.
Are you okay? I'll put my hand on her.
Language? Excuse me?
As she
You
shakes
can't
her
say
wrist.
stuff like
Are
this
you
in a
okay?
place like this.
I just got my fucking knuckle bashed
Oh.
against whatever this is because they don't want to join us. It's. I'm gonna
Katie,
try and
you pull your
send a
hand through,
message.
and it slips through your hand as you pull through, and now you're back on your side. No Cecilia in hand though.
I'm gonna try and send a message to Aelin,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, Aelin, get in here. We can't get back out. Just come over.
Aelin, you do not receive any message.
Okay.
Bax
Worth a
put
try.
her hand on Cece's shoulder and give her. Did you say one? 1 point
Yeah.
of healing.
Okay.
Oh my
Your,
pinky.
your wrist goes.
Thank you.
Healing boop.
So I assume that didn't work.
Yeah, no. I think she.
Hmm.
Like I think it's a
I'll
solid
sit down
on
and
the
I'll
inside.
and I'll start casting.
I'm pretty sure we
Oh,
can figure
no.
this out.
I think
Casting.
like he
Start
froze,
casting.
but I'm pretty sure he's gonna say he's gonna ritual cast detect magic.
Yeah, I'm going to cast detect magic.
Okay,
Sorry.
ritually, or are you?
Yeah, ritually I haven't prepared it, so I need my book to cast
Okay.
it.
All right. So 10 minutes.
Yes.
What's everybody else doing?
What else
Inside.
do I see inside? Do you see
you
any
see you
landmarks?
see no, well, you do see what looks like just like a landscape of a forest, a beautiful forest. As a matter of fact, you can hear the sounds of what sounds like maybe a running water of like a creek off in the distance. You hear the sounds of songbirds above you. A calming effect kind of comes over your senses. The threats of the jungle seem almost minute compared to where you are now. And with the Almirages kind of wandering around, go ahead and roll a perception check real quick.
Okay. $21.
You see a Chewinga on top of one of the Almirages riding it. And it's like kind of just trying to get the Chewinga to bounce off.
Oh look! Oh, that's so adorable. They're in the process of domesticating another species, guys. This is fascinating.
I wanna grab a stick, like relatively thick
Oh
stick,
no!
Mm-hmm.
and no, don't worry. No. I'm not that dark. I'm dark, but not that
Safi immediately just goes to the worst place as soon as she sees you pick up the stick.
No, what I want to do, because you told me that I can see their images, right? And they can see me on the other side, like a kind
They
of like
can
a
see
blur.
a blur, like a shadow, yeah.
Okay,
Very,
so what
very
I kind
distorted.
of want to try to do is, I'm not sure if you ever had those as a child, but those magnetic tables with sand on them, kind of what I want to do is like trace, like, come in, like mirrored, so they can read it, like come in on that fucking whatever
So,
wall it is.
As
So
the
they
stick
see
does
the
not
things.
pass through, it does create waves or ripples.
Yes, that's what I was trying to do.
So, as you guys are just sitting there waiting for Aelin doing his thing, Velisra and Katie, go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you can decipher what is being put on
Do I
this
need
water.
to do performance or?
I was gonna say that I would
you
like
doing
to
a
look
dance?
around the portal to see if I can find anything, any clues as to what this is or why it's here.
You want to look around it?
Yeah, like I want to look around the portal and like see if I can find any clues about it.
Okay.
See if there's any.
Yeah, as I mean, from the general vicinity, if you don't want to go like hundreds of meters out, it just looks like the jungle comes to a stop, and this orb or this water-like thing. Oh shit! Sorry, I have a light right above me. I just nailed it. The water-like entity or whatever, it is just it's almost like a fence. Like as soon as this jungle meets it, the jungle stops and this thing starts.
All right, but what's behind it though? Like,
There's
can I walk on
nothing
the other
behind it.
side?
This thing is what looks like kilometers wide, and
Oh,
it is
okay.
gigantic.
So there's no way around it unless I want to.
There is a way around it. Yeah, sure. If you want to go like kilometers and stuff like that
or
in a
like,
certain
except
direction.
for that. Okay, so
Correct.
so we're basically imprisoned, kinda.
No. I'm not
What,
saying
like-
that. What I'm trying to say
No,
is that
I'm trying to figure out like how, like, is it?
it's just like think of a dome that has
Yeah.
just fallen upon this area. That is just kind of what it is. There is no when you look around, there is no broken branches. There is no sign of force implant or anything like that. It just looks like it has appeared almost out of nowhere.
No, what I meant is that like this seems like we are encased by this.
No, not
then
even in the least.
I-
If you take a dino and
then
run
I-
the other way, you wouldn't even have to worry about this.
Okay, and then I do not understand.
I'll draw this. So on the map.
We're still on the big map.
Yep.
Okay.
On the map,
Oh shit, it's that big?
you see something, in essence, around that size.
Whoa.
Kalamar is taking a moment to attune to this new environment, like getting the flow of the sound, getting a grasp of anything that's out of the ordinary. Like I hear a river and getting a, like
The whole
wave
thing
land.
is out of the ordinary. You hear what calls of sounds like what maybe like a moose. You hear something like what sounds like the bleating of maybe like a sheep or something like that in the background. Just very odd noises that you wouldn't hear in a regular
Is this
forest or
where-
jungle.
We have this nice background stuff. Is this where this is nice to use? Where is the thing? I have a thing for being a hermit somewhere where I can know stuff. Where is it? I don't know. And we have, I'm guessing Cece and Ren has some. What's your character called? Safi. Wow.
I think Max is a little excited. I think Max is
Place
a
is
little
really,
excited.
really doing
where
a
is
number
it?
on you.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I have a thing.
Hermit
Do I know
life
what
of
kind of
seclusion.
thing it is?
I used to be here.
You have okay. So as a hermit, you have discovery. It says the quiet seclusion
Yes,
of blah blah
that's the
blah.
one.
The exact nature of this revelation depends blah blah. You might have uncovered blah blah. You might have uncovered a fact that has long been forgotten or unearthed some relic. May reveal information that would be damaging to people.
It's not on my sheet though. Why isn't?
It would be a past discovery, not like a current discovery.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so that's not exactly the same thing you're probably thinking of.
Yeah, but it's because I can't find it, so I can't read what it says.
No problem.
Can I-
My character
Go ahead.
summary.
Savvy.
Can I try to have a think about what this looks like, if I've ever read about something like this. A place like
This as in what? The location that you're in? The orb
location
itself? Okay, the location you're in? Yeah, just go ahead and roll the history check with advantage.
With my history and my youth and such, and my parents, would I know about this place?
Probably not immediately because of your seclusion from your parents. I would say go ahead and roll a history check with just a regular history check.
Cool. Oh wait, I got my dice tray. What did I do? Okay, I know nothing.
Because of your
dumbfounded.
upbringing, this doesn't sound familiar or look familiar in any way. So Safi, you would have read about this. You would have heard stories about this as a child. Yeah, this is what the Feywild was described as.
Callum boy,
You are basically on another plane of existence. Those outside, what are you currently doing?
Is my spell complete?
Your spell has now completed. Your detect magic has officially detected
Magic.
magic.
Magic. I am blinded by the magical energy.
You are blinded by the magical energy as this entire, like basically when you detect the magic, you literally cannot see through this anymore because the blinding light that comes off of it. But now it is just shining conjuration magic to you.
Conjuration magic. Okay. Can I don't know, inspect it a little bit more to see if it's safe for us?
Roll Arcana.
Okay. Come on, dice.
Can I roll Arcana too?
Sure thing.
Great, yeah.
Information.
That's a natural one, so...
It's very frightening, this
What's
whole
up
new
with
experience.
The ones today?
Yeah. This is some really powerful conjuration magic here.
Velisera, with
know
that,
what this will do.
you get the sense that, yeah, it is safe. There's no traps that would be... There's no magical traps or aura that emanates from this. You just get a sense that this is some sort of teleportation essence. So this is some sort of teleportation magic.
Did anyone see my letters?
I think I did that with the 19 perception. We never came
Miguel
back to
did.
it, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
yes, Velisera did. Velisera saw, but the other, I think, Katie
I
was
was
busy
busy.
kind of
Yeah.
checking the perimeter while Aelin was doing his
I
spell.
think it's because I got a little excited. Sorry.
that's fine. They're asking for us to go in. I believe they most likely would require help for 3 of our 4 spellcasters to get out of this magical thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
What do you think, Katie? What should we do?
Muted.
Muted.
What about the dinosaurs?
They can fend for themselves.
They
But
can,
our-
We could
Or
try and
just-
take them with us.
because we know how long we're gonna be in there.
We could try and take them with us. Guide them
Oh.
through.
The thing is, when you said that was a different place, right? Like in the jungle?
Some sort of teleportation magic is what you get off of it.
Okay. So it's teleportation magic. We can end up anywhere, really.
And the
Yes.
colors look really fucking
Exactly.
weird.
So
Especially to you, Velisera, the colors are like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't like that.
also we
I'll
left
get a headache.
Captain.
It's
Also, we
really-
left Captain alone with the dinosaurs.
Yes, we should get the dinosaurs and try and guide them in.
Captain is kind of lounging on the
Okay.
neck of your dinosaur, just with like his hands behind his back and his legs crossed.
Let's get the Dinosaurus then.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll
Come on,
gather,
Gary.
I'll gather all the dinos.
Okay,
I'll-
one by one, you
I'll-
just kind of unhook every one of them from the tree and pass them along. And you can hold several leads at once, no issue.
Yeah.
So, Safi, you know about the Feywild? Have you heard anything good about it as well?
Very articulate.
Safi's exact reaction as she just continues to stare at the Almirage that is bouncing up and down with the thing on his back.
Oh yes, I should have expected that. Is anyone else doing alright in here?
Yeah. I feel a
yeah.
little worried they haven't come through though.
I tried to
don't like us
sign
being
them,
led
but
like this.
Yeah. Also, try not to wander around too much. There are paths that lead to very strange places.
I know,
Alright.
I know.
How do you
So Kalimbar and Safi, even though you're a bit preoccupied, you would have remembered that in the Feywild, a lot of times things may seem like one thing and may be completely a different thing.
Okay.
So it's very not mirage based, but illusion based. Like, for instance, you're looking at the ground now, and as you're looking at the ground, there is what looks like a stick, like a long stick along the ground. Maybe that has fallen off a tree or something like that near you. And as you're looking around, you see it and you pay no attention to it, but then you look at it again and it sprouts little stick legs and then walks off.
wait, what did I just write with then?
You see it, and you see it sprout little legs and like wiggle now in your hand.
Oh god! I yeet it as far as I can.
It like hits some of the tree branches like that are just there and like smacks against a few of them, lands on the ground, and then begins to crawl off.
Okay, maybe this was a bad idea.
Okay, well, let's just stick close together.
That's a good idea.
All right.
Oh.
So those with the dinos outside, what are you guys doing?
Yes.
We're trying
I'll-
to push them in.
Yeah.
I'll
think we-
guide them in. I'll cast speak with animals.
Okay. You can't speak with animals. And-
And I'll tell them it's probably safe. Because I won't lie to them. It's like
No,
we're
it is.
gonna go-
It is absolutely safe. This is not a dangerous thing.
Oh,
They look at you, Katie. They look at you, and Bax's dino actually walks up to you, kind of like pushes past a couple of the other ones as it's about a foot taller than them. Bax's dino walks through to you, and she says, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, Bax is on the other side.
Okay then. And you can see it turns around, and the other two you just hear, "Rah, rah, rah." But of course, Katie, you would hear, let's trust her. And then they begin to walk through one at a time. Cecilia, as you're like throwing this thing off into the jungle and like twirling your hands kind of like this, like, you see like a group of dinos kind of pass you now as your dinos have walked through the gate.
Mine too? Is mine there?
Yep,
All of them.
yours kind of walks
wow.
by and it knocks into your shoulder.
Is Aethro going to try and fetch the stick?
Aethro walks through and just begins to like just like
I'll
look around very
tell-
crazy.
I'll tell Kalimbar's the dinosaur to give him a scolding for me.
Give Aethro a scolding?
No, Kalimbar scolding for me. Kalimbar's dinosaur to give him a scolding for me.
Just before we get in, don't forget to bring Captain.
He's on my shoulder.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
great.
Captain was on the back of the neck of one of the things. So you want Kalimbar's dinosaur to scold Kalimbar, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay,
because,
perfect.
You know, he scolded us for
Sure.
doing this.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
So-
all the dinosaurs walk through, and you see Aelin like pushing the butt of one of the dinosaurs as he comes through.
As I get into the portal and I exit into the Feywild, I'll look around, just say, "What the fuck?" Of all the friggin' places, I
Language.
end up here.
You see Eku kind of laying, like sitting in the grass, and you see like a couple Almirages have kind of like jumped on her lap, and she's just like petting them.
They're furry Villagera.
Yeah. And Kalimbar, as you are trying to get a lay of the land and like looking like left and right and stuff like that, and just trying to scout up ahead as everybody passes by, you suddenly feel a nip, like a straight up bite at your hindquarters, like right on your butt. And you take 1 point of piercing damage.
Ouch! What was that?
and you turn around and you see a very like straight, like looking directly into your eyes. I forgot his name. I apologize. I will look at it now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Kessa.
It's good to see you've comforted me. Please
Every
no
time
more
you say
biting.
that name, I hear cheese.
Good.
We could just call him Feather if you want. It makes it a little bit easier.
Feather. Sure. Feather, don't do this. It hurts. It's not nice.
He kind of just lets out a low groan, like a.
Come, follow me. You will like this place.
Safi, Aethro is now chasing like butterflies throughout the grassy knoll area that you're in.
I will
Just
try
running in
to
circles.
somewhat keep him from wandering too far off.
Yeah,
Try to
he's just
sort
doing
of
circles.
Run past him to keep him interested.
I'll
All right.
tell
Everybody
all
is
the
in?
dinosaurs now that there's here, like still while I still have the speak with animals up, to stay close and stay near, because we don't know what's out there.
Okay. Again, you see Bax's dino kind of look at all the other ones, and as soon as everybody gets eye contact with Bax's dino, everybody lines up almost 2 by 2.
Buddy system!
Can I try to see if there's anything else that isn't what it seemed? Like with the stick that walked
in your
away?
general vicinity, you take a look around, and it doesn't look like you can gather much more from this area unless you move on a little bit. But you can continue doing that as you walk in.
Okay.
Yes, Katie.
Are there any animal noises nearby that I could understand?
That you can understand?
Yeah, like, because you talked about the Almirage.
Yeah, the Almirage.
Yeah, like, are there any like animals speaking around me that I overhear?
There are tons of animals. Again, it's mostly like songbirds.
Right. What are they saying?
Well, the songbirds aren't necessarily saying anything. You just know it as like a song of love, maybe of enticement, or you would hear maybe sounds of children saying they're hungry. You would hear sounds of maybe like what it sounded like a game of tag going on. The bunny rabbits that are around you, the Almirages, you've seen these before, and you would understand some of them as just gathering food and telling their children not to wander off and things like that.
Alright. Cool.
All right. What would you guys like to do at this point? I mean, you guys walked in. You guys see the situation. Your dinos have now gathered up, what seems like in an orderly fashion. Velithra is pissed.
Yes.
What do you guys want to do?
Kate is also pissed.
So,
Still.
the first 15 times we said not to go around the jungle alone, that was fine, but now we end up in a freaking fairy place.
Yes, this is an improvement over the jungle, right?
What's that? No way. No freaking way.
Less snakes, well, there were less things with teeth
Don't
until
say
you brought
another
dinosaurs.
fucking word. Shut your mouth.
Language.
Do you know?
Shut up. What is wrong with you people? We get a scolding from going into a temple, and you
No,
guys just jump
you
head
got a
first into this
scolding.
magical dome kind of thing?
You got a scolding for destroying
Just
it.
after we've been manipulated by something that could just see everything?
Well, there's a thing such as good omens, and since the Chewingas have been helping us throughout the temple, we figured that they wouldn't stay in wait, especially when they started running. So yeah, and as Eku mentioned before, they are good omens. So yeah, we listen because
Oh, yeah,
not
this is-
everything,
like, this
not
is
everything
perfect.
is
This
worth a
is
5-hour
great.
debate before we do something.
Oh, wait, not what I'm saying. It's just like, this is perfectly fine, this is great, we're in something that's not the Chilton Jungle, where we kind of need to be to do stuff. And we can't get back, so that's great, that's awesome.
I tend to follow our guide, and if she says we're clear, we always follow.
Except she wasn't the first one to jump in.
And I waited for her.
Why would it matter if
Echo
she
kind of
said-
like looks at not Cecilia, looks at Katie, and she kind of stands up from where she was, and she kind of bows her head almost in shame, and she says, I am sorry. It was a bit rash of me to jump to conclusions like this. I apologize. And now I see we are in quite a situation as we cannot get out. I do blame myself, and I apologize.
Everyone makes mistakes, but stay aware that fairies are tricksters before anything else.
Yes, you are. They are tricksters just as you are.
Yes.
I'm just staring at the ground. Just
At that point, it's no use yelling at each other. We need to get out of here pretty quickly, because if you remember, with the Feywild, time doesn't work as it does in our place. Every second here can be a month in our place.
A month?
Or the other way around?
No,
No.
that's in the Shadowfell.
My birthday is in 3 days. I can't stay here a month.
Well, happy birthday, Aelin.
It's probably
month
past
ago.
now. Congratulations.
It can be, I mean. The time changes in this place, if I remember correctly.
As does space. The paths we will wander are mostly shaped by the minds of the creatures here. So do
So
not
let's
wander
not-
away from the group. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Especially
let's not waste any time. Then, more than we did.
When I
As
look at the Chewongas, are they like making us move somewhere? Or are they just looking now?
So Bax, as you look for the Chewingas, like further up the path, you do see the Chewingas that originally had led you in here have dispersed within the Almirages here, but you do see a series of 2 or 3 more Chewingas that are staring at the group leading up the path, like waving their arms at you.
I'm
Well, we
very
can't go
sorry
back.
that you guys.
At that point, might as well see what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just start walking.
I
Okay.
love
Follow them.
Yep.
jump
And-
on Sylvie.
Don't touch anything here. I heard that sticks have legs.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'll try to catch up to Safi. Walk by her side.
Okay, no problem.
I'll grab their dinos and hop on watch us.
No problem.
I'm gonna walk next to Velisra.
I'm sorry I got
Hey.
too excited, Kalambar. I didn't mean to
Hello?
drag you guys into a place like that.
I can hardly imagine how you feel about this, but for me, this is a great place.
No!
Well,
I mean, look at the flowers. Maybe we can gather some of those here.
are you sure it won't be dangerous? You just told me that things aren't necessarily what they seem to be.
Well, we'll ask nicely before we pick. And without force, you know? Be gentle, and if we find a creature here, it can only be interesting.
I would
So,
look back at the group and say, I wasn't thinking you guys. I saw something that looked and felt really beautiful and not awful, and I'm sorry I shouldn't got you guys locked in here with me. I'll just try to get you guys out as fast as possible.
Don't worry, Safi. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
There's no word of apology from me.
it's fine. Just stop apologizing, everyone, and just take a lesson from it and not do it again.
Let's
Yeah.
just say we all get one.
Won't
Speaking of
try not
lessons.
to enjoy anything from now on.
No, you can
Oh,
enjoy
That's
things.
that's not what she means.
I'm just walking.
okay.
Safi, please enjoy the things here. It's a
My
worthwhile
point
place.
is, you might have died.
No, don't come at me with you might have died. I pretty much almost did, okay? I know all about it.
I'll huddle next to Safi.
You have to run up to the front as Safi has
Yeah.
now started walking at a kind of expedient pace.
Yeah, I'll
Trying to
try and
keep a
catch up
lookout
with her.
for things that look out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
Following.
Safi, as you continue on, and Aelin now by your side, you continue on at the front, Kalambar just a little bit behind you. The Chewingas get to a point where it's a big grassy area with trees very sporadic, and the Chewingas jump into the grass in front of you, almost like diving into water and then completely disappearing. The area that you see in front of you now is a large, maybe like 50 or 60 foot wide area that just has, again, trees kind of sporadically around you. And you see a 40-foot long hill in front of you, this giant hill with trees and grass and all kinds of stuff like that growing outside this hilltop. But other than that, the things that jumped into the grass are the last things that you see.
Safi, don't blame yourself. It's far too early to know if you made a mistake or not.
That's good advice, Gal. Thank you.
This is just another adventure, Safi.
Which way do we go from here, guys?
Well, as my father always said,
first I need
right is
a
right.
perception check from Safi.
Okay. 11.
Okay, and perception check from Kalimbar as well, since you're up front. Oh, no. Aelin, you were up front. Aelin, go ahead and roll save.
That's an 11 for me as well.
Okay. Kalimbar, can you reset your camera on and off?
I can.
Thank you.
Oh, same with Wouter. I mean, Aelin. You're also frozen. You're really bored right now.
All right, and so Safi and Aelin, as you guys are talking, you don't notice this, but Kalimbar is looking directly at you guys because you guys turn around to ask. What's that?
I was right behind them.
Right, that's what I mean. So as they turn around to say where to next, Kalimbar, you're looking directly at them. They turn their backs, and that hillside that was right behind them, that gigantic hillside that had the trees and grass and stuff like that alongside of it, you begin to feel rumble.
We will follow the hill.
And the hill begins to lift up slowly. And the edges of the hill itself begin to drop like dirt and different plants and stuff like that hang from it. And the grass that was hanging on top of it begins to flow over the side of it like moss hanging down. And now what you see in front of you, picking itself up from the ground, is a gigantic tortoise. The back of this tortoise has grass and trees growing out of its shell, very purple and pink in nature. Every bit of grass, again, off-colored in blues and purples. And the creature begins to turn towards the group.
It's probably not hostile.
Oh, that's a big turtle. That's a very big turtle.
Yeah, Aelin, you didn't see it, but then you start feeling.
Yeah.
And you turn around, and now this gigantic what the hell? What the hell? I got tricked.
It's a giant jukebox.
I was tricked. That music. All right, I'm deleting that music. Delete that shit. Britney Spears pops out from behind the turtle.
I knew she was going to play well. That makes so much sense now.
All right, sorry about
she
that,
has
guys.
to be like a fighter with a spear. And
Took us out of the moment. So the turtle turns around. And just begins to kind of look at the group. What is the group doing? What are you guys doing? All of the dinosaurs at this point are getting skittery and kind of backing up against the tree line.
I immediately step behind Kalimbar.
And whoop, right behind Kalimbar.
Okay, so is it facing us?
Yeah, I mean it's 45-degree angle at this point towards you.
Is it saying anything?
Yeah, if you're not doing anything, then it looks at you, and it turns its head, and you see this gigantic, old, ancient tortoise head, and you see its eyebrows. Where they would just be regular tortoise eyebrows, you would see large wooden branches kind of coming off of it, ending in what looks like cherry blossoms almost.
I will say hello.
I mimic.
I'm moving in front of Kalimbar.
Okay.
Everybody's getting in line to get trampled. Stop, guys.
No, I'm not.
You have to stop doing that every time.
I'm not. I was has it been 10 minutes since Speak with Animals?
Close to it, but not fully 10 minutes, no.
I will. Is it saying anything? I'll
So yeah,
mimic
it
its
turns to
action.
Safi, and as Safi says hello, the creature goes, hello, in a low, ancient-like voice. In
Does
common.
anybody in common? Okay.
What's your name?
They call me the Great Turtle.
I can see why.
Well, that simplifies things.
Hi, Great Turtle. I'm Safi. This is Kalambar. That's Aelin behind him there. This is Katie,
wow.
Bags, TC.
You see him
Melissa.
slowly blink his eyes and open them back. You see, as he breathes, an essence of like blue light energy coming out of his mouth and little like white sprites kind of floating.
I'll step from behind Kalambar, bow, and in Sylvan I'll say, "Greetings, great Fey spirit."
I'll try to bow in unison.
He just takes his head and in curiosity looking you over, just very slow in all of his actions. Greetings, young one.
We have accidentally stumbled onto your domain. I hope you would excuse our rudeness.
No need to apologize. You have stumbled upon my forest. But I can tell you're good of heart. What brings you here?
We follow.
Well,
Impulsivity?
We
chance.
followed the omens. Good omens.
As you say that, 20 chewingas pop out from on top of the thing's back, like poking their head out from around trees, up on top of branches, in the grass, behind the thing's ears. Well, the holes where the ears are. You see them all pop out. Ah, the children of nature. They
has been much
lead
over.
the good to me.
I'll take that as a compliment. It's a very beautiful place here.
For what?
Solace. You can find peace here.
It seems like we do not have much time for peace right now.
Sadly, we don't.
I travel from plane to plane. I just happen to fall upon your jungles. Is there anything I can do for you?
If you've traveled so far, you must know a lot of things.
I am very old, but not as knowledgeable as one may think. I tend to the forests.
Could you, if you tend to the forests, make sure our passage in the jungles are safe?
Or at least help us some of the way?
I can do such things. What is it that concerns you?
There is a lot of death in this forest. And we're trying to stop it.
I feel that as well.
What is the extent of your power, great tortoise?
I can grant you a bit of magic along your journey, but it is only as temporary as this forest is.
Then, could you shield our camps from the eyes of the hostile creature of the jungle while we rest in the jungles of Schuld?
The eyes pry further than one can prevent. Unless you are here with me, I cannot help in this way.
Is your forest in a specific place in our world?
My forest remains on a plane of its own existence. I am forever as it is.
So that means where we entered, we might not leave.
One can only leave after consulting with myself.
Would you let us leave?
If that is what you wish.
We are here to stop this death curse that's spreading.
This curse you speak of. What things have happened to you in this regard of the curse?
It killed my friend.
My mother suffers from it.
And he kind of like, you see him close his eyes, and he looks up into the air, and he opens his mouth, and as he opens his mouth, the blue light that was emanating from it, almost like a mist form, begins to fill the area, and the white little sprites kind of just flying out of his mouth, the little motes of light just fly off into the air, almost like a dandelion when blown. As he looks back down at you. I believe the death curse may be caused by some sort of soul bag that traps souls.
Soul bag that traps souls?
Even those that are not evil. All souls.
Does it have anything to do with that bag of human flesh we found?
I think he means soulmonger.
Yeah, but we also
have a weird ass bag.
Yeah,
Who
who has that one?
I do.
What bag?
I'll fetch it in my pack and take it out. This has been found on a creature you might be familiar with. It was on a green hag.
I know much of hags. That is not a soul bag, but can be useful in many ways. Have you had any other run-ins with hags?
Yes, our friend is cursed.
Yes, I have been cursed.
The curse is off.
Something from me.
And
But
he
yes.
looks over at Aelin. He takes 2 more steps. As he leans down towards Aelin ever so closely, He leans down, and Aelin, he is kind of like right in front of your face, maybe a foot in front of your face, and this creature's head is literally like 3 times the size of your body.
Oh yeah.
He leans down, and the blue mist encompasses your feet basically as he breathes. And he looks over you, and he takes his nose and he nudges towards your clothing.
Any magic would be helpful. Oh,
He just continues.
I'll show the scar.
And he looks at it, and he kind of turns his head to where his eye is very close to it. Yes, you are not cursed yet. Something has been stolen from you, yes. I believe this is the work of one of the Zone sisters.
There are
They are of a coven. They are known to steal parts of creatures and use them in diabolical manners.
Where can I find these others?
They hide deep within the Forbidden City.
Is my friend still afflicted with the curse?
So they hacked the...
There is no curse on your friend.
Yes, that's what you said.
One would consider it a curse, possibly. But it is not directly a curse.
What is it then?
This Forbidden City, is it Omu?
I believe that is the name that it once went by, yes.
Who was the green hag then? If she has nothing to do with this.
No, she was one of the Hag's coven.
Was she?
Was a hag by the name of Nani Poo a part of the coven? Great one.
She was the aunt to one of the sisters.
So that's a no.
You say it's not a curse, but it is something. So what does it do? What
Is it not somewhat of a curse to have your organs stolen?
I suppose. Yeah, good point.
Yes. Thank you for your wisdom, great turtle. And those magics you speak of, that could help us. Anything you could do to help would be greatly appreciated, great one.
Very well. You were saying?
Wait, before I have a couple of questions because you speak of this city like you know the place. What can you tell us about it?
Know its location. I know not of its history.
I understand.
Do you know of a place on the way there where we could resupply?
What type of resupply do you speak?
Like a place with shops where you can buy things like bolts and paper.
You are within the jungles of Chult.
Yes.
Can you help us with the journey then? Make it shorter, so our supplies last longer? Or the same amount, but just less travel?
Might
makes my head hurt.
be able to do something.
The creatures that live in the Forbidden City, do you know anything of them?
I know of the snake creatures.
Could you tell us more about them?
They have lived very long lives. They are dangerous, but only due to their sordid past and their neglect from other cultures. They were shunned into their lives they hold now. The creature kind of...
Go ahead. Just go ahead,
Katie.
Do I believe this turtle has our best interest at heart?
You get that the all-knowing turtle. Go ahead and roll a insight check, please.
I would also really like to do that. I haven't spoken yet.
Sure, Cecilia.
And then a
Go
giant turtle.
Yeah.
Not having it.
Yep, no problem.
That's a 15, like 25. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, wait.
25
Yeah.
and a
That's
20.
Natural 8.
Dirty 20.
You get the sense that this is an ultra lawful good type of creature, and it is doing nothing but helping you at this point.
Okay.
And
like
this whole time, by the way, this creature is not moving its mouth. It is just allowing this billowing blue smoke to kind of come out with the white motes of energy and stuff like that. But you are all hearing this within your head.
Okay.
That's not creepy.
Its eyes are old with age and everything like that, but you see like two small blue, almost white because of its brightness, orbs in the center of its eyes as it looks upon you guys.
What happens when I try to touch one of the light sprites that comes out of its mouth?
You go over and you kind of place your hand and allow it to hit you, and it kind of dissipates.
What old magic can you teach us, Great Turtle, to aid us against the snake people?
I cannot bestow magic to you. I shall leave you a gift in the morning time. In the wild. You see him take his head. Yes, I will. I can just do that right now.
I feel like everybody's seeing faces and I can't see them.
Can everybody still see me now?
Yeah.
I can see you now.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
No problem. So the creature turns to its side. My nose is very shiny and red now. So he turns to the side and he takes his head, and there's just like almost like a curtain of these long vines that reach from the treetops all the way to the ground, and they are like blue and purple and colors and pink. And he takes his, and each one of them covered in like blossoms. Takes his head and he swipes it to the side slowly. And as he swipes it to the side, he reveals a beautiful looking grotto. And inside the grotto, you can see a large pool of water with several small waterfalls falling into this pool of water. And each one of these pools of water, you can see just clear as clear gets. And small little motes of white light are kind of coming off of the surface of this water.
Damn, Turtle, that's a pretty nice pool you have there.
I must
It
agree,
looks
it is
very
quite
magical.
appealing.
And he says, "You are welcome to stay the night."
If we do, would just one night also pass in the outside world, or would more time there?
is dependent not upon myself.
Huh?
Then on both.
I have no control of time's passage.
How do we control it then?
Well, we don't.
We cannot, I think.
You can't control time.
It's a bet we have to make.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like gambling?
Well, at least 3 people can try their gills here. That's fun.
We thank you for your hospitality, Great Turtle.
He kind of takes his nose and wraps the long vines around a branch that he can kind of reach with his head, wraps them around it, and he looks at the group and he breathes once again as the blue mist covers the ground in a permanent now fog around the area, and the creature just begins to sink down and retreat back into its shell, revealing yet again what looks like just a hill. All the chewingas dive back down into the plants and flowers and trees within it.
Wow.
That was quite interesting, to say the least.
It was.
Are we staying here, or are we afraid that time is gonna pass too fast?
Well, we don't actually have a choice, do we?
Well,
Since he was our only way out.
if we ask nicely.
I mean,
he
you
might
get the idea that once you're done talking to him, you leave. It's just you had to talk with him first. It's up to you where you stay. He just gave you the option that you can stay here.
I say we stay here for now.
Yeah.
This would do us good.
Yeah.
A night that we don't have to put up sentries.
Yes,
Also,
but a night
also
that could
there's-
cost us centuries too.
I don't think the gods would punish us like that.
The gods.
Yes.
Why do they care?
This is
They are-
planar travel. This
They
isn't-
are merciless, that's why they are gods, dear.
That's very false. But it's not.
This isn't something anyone can do. Planar travel is like super high.
Oh, I know. Thing is, if Dendar wakes, the planar barriers will not stop him, and he will devour, or she will devour, every planar sate ever.
You seem to know a lot of things about Dendar.
I know that they want to awaken him, and if they do, it is the end of everything.
How do you know this?
Yes.
You know,
Who is this Dendar?
I mean,
Dendar-
I'm not to leave with you right now. I mean, we don't even know your name. We literally
Me?
had to prove to keep you alive. Like, you're saying all of this. We're in a nice place right now. We could have a nice nap. I mean, literally, I thought you were the cool outsider like me, and I wanted to trust you. And now all of this happened, and I'm kind of mad at you. And
I can
not
understand
something I
why.
thought I would be. So, before you
My
start
real
talking about
name-
Dendar, let's just first maybe explain why you're lying to us.
Well,
Yes.
my real name is Tesalia Redchecks,
Thank you.
and I am not from Waterdeep, and I never went to Waterdeep. I am from Omu. I lived all my life there.
What?
Yes,
This is why you know the way.
I know the way. I know what's there. I know the language. I know the history. That's my reality.
Are you dangerous?
Yes. To you, no.
And I think all of us are dangerous.
I'm not dangerous to any of you, but she might be.
Why would she? Why would she drag us to here, travel with us for weeks, and help us and be there for us?
Yeah.
You heard what the Naga said. That she has been
Naga was-
lying to us all the time.
I did.
You're just
Because-
a Naga over Thessalia.
He did right.
The Naga, it knew stuff. said stuff. It hasn't lied to me.
I mean,
Felisra did, or Thessalia did.
She has
So
much
I
to
ju-
get. Thessalia
I
has much to
suggest-
gain by lying.
I suggest you come clean and
This
tell
is
us
what-
what you and tell us everything you know.
This is what I'm doing. So Rasnasi wants to awaken Dendar, the Night Serpent, the destroyer of worlds, because he wants his world and his empire back, which has been taken away from him. He doesn't have power like he used to, and that's angering him. And all of my fellow Yuan-Tis, well, let's say they don't have the courage or the critical thinking to face him, and I certainly do not have the power to face him alone.
And what have you to gain by stopping him?
That I do not die with everyone else. Because Rasnasi is persuaded that the Night Serpent will give us our empire back, but with no promises. The Night Serpent could as well engulf us all. But he doesn't realize this. And his anger and his boldness. He might risk everything for him to gain back what he once lost. So, that is why I went to Port Nyanza undercover, to meet new people like you, outsiders, and gather some allies to defeat Rasnasi, and in that way assure my survival, as well as, well, your own, of course, and everything you know. If Rasnasi succeeds in awakening Zendar, he might get his empire back, and we might become once again, the most powerful people in Chult. But to what cost? And to what promise, of course? That the Night Serpent will not devour us too. I hid from you, like I hid from Rasnasi, because the Yuan-Tis have spies everywhere. Like we saw me, Safi, and Cecilia in Port Nyanzaro. You said that I had no trouble defeating them to save us three, and I would do it again. I chose my survival over my people. Think of me what you want. Think of me what you must. But I believe the end justifies the means, right?
Sometimes your people aren't on your side, though.
Oh, my people will never be on my side because I am opposing Rasnasi, and they are all blind servants and followers.
May I ask?
You may ask. It's the time.
Safi, during this whole thing, before Bex says anything, Safi, this whole time during this, your head begins to hurt tremendously. Almost migraine. Bex, Carol.
Oh, I'm trying to hide it and keep my attention on Felisra for now. Thessalia, sorry.
You can
Please.
call me whichever you want.
These Yuan-Tis, I heard they were snake people.
They are.
Are you wearing a disguise?
No. But really, my eyes are natural. They're not because of my sorcerer things. My skin is cold to the touch because I am snake-like, not because I am half dead. I have always been like this.
No skills?
No scales.
I look a
Are
tiny
your
bit
family like
disappointed.
this too?
If I what?
Are your family like this too?
I didn't get that.
I'll lean closer to my mic and say,
Yes.
are your family like this too?
Well, yes, they were.
Did you lose your family?
Well, let's say that by leaving everything behind, I kind of abandoned my family, yes. Oh, or what was left of it, at least.
Why did you feel like you couldn't trust us enough to tell us this?
Because generally people kill Yuantis on sight, like that oracle. And because if you knew, the word might have gotten out, and Yuanti's assassins could have been sent to us and killed us all in our sleep.
Yeah, because assassins haven't been sent to us to kill someone in our sleep, right? So
Yes, but let's not try to make that an habit, will we? So this is why I didn't tell you my secrets. To protect you in a way.
Honest intention in mind.
I do. As long as you are in line with defeating Recency, of course.
And this would stop the curse.
I don't think this would stop the curse, but it would stop Dendar from awakening. And Dendar is worse than any curse.
It is good to hear you speak some truth, finally.
Tell me, Valisra, or Thessalia, I'm sorry. Getting
Either is
used
fine.
to it.
Either is fine. You can still call me Phyllis, I don't mind it.
If you are from Omo,
Yes.
and what can you tell me about the artifacts my father found?
It is part of a mural. No. If I recall correctly, it speaks of the awakening of Dendar. Speaking of which,
Is this some sort of key
I don't
or a
know.
lock?
I couldn't tell. I know it's part of a mural.
I apologize. I was going to send this, and I don't know why I didn't prior to this. But Valisra, I could have sworn I sent this to you, but I guess I did not. But you would know that Aelin... Did I send it to somebody else accidentally? Did anybody else get this message? Basically stating that Aelin's... Valisra, you would know that Aelin's artifact that he has is a piece of one of the shrines scattered around Omu. And the shrines itself are in regards to the many gods that Omu had worshipped near the end of its fall.
Okay, well,
I apologize.
part of a
I
shrine.
could have sworn that I sent that out, and I mean, I even had that like in my head, like that. I typed it out and everything. I don't know where it went.
do I know what those
carry
shrine
on.
do?
I apologize.
With the, okay.
You do not know. You know that the shrines are very dangerous, and that they are. Yeah, I mean, you would know that they are the key to accessing the lair of Rostnacy.
So,
You're muted, Miguel, if you're saying anything.
So yeah, we need those shrines to access the lair of Rasnus.
so my father found a piece of the shrine that is a key to Rasnasi.
So visibly it was on the same path I am.
Where
Could
did
be.
he find it?
I don't know exactly. I found it after he died in his lab. It was hidden. It was in his desk.
Is that why you're here?
Yes. I want to know what he was doing before, you know. I found his journal and it spoke of this, that he was trying to figure this out, but he never did. So I came here to finish what he started.
Safi, as all this talk goes on, that migraine has now turned it into a sharp pain in your head.
Who is next to me?
Cecilia, sure. And Kalimbar.
I will sort of reach out and say, I don't feel so great. My head's hurting real bad.
As you say, I don't feel so great, and my head feels real bad. You are not speaking English. You are not speaking common. All of you hear come out of her mouth. Velisra, you know this language.
Oh shit.
Where did you learn that?
Which language is this?
I didn't. What? What do you mean?
Again, you hear nothing but.
She's not having a stroke, is she?
Which
No.
language is it?
I will speak to her in... What's that called? Om1?
UNT.
UNT? What is happening? Why are you hurt?
I don't know exactly what's happening. My head just hurts. It's a sharp pain. It was a migraine before. I tried to ignore it. It didn't. It got worse. This is weird. Am I sounding weird?
Yes, you are speaking UNC.
Ow.
No, you mustn't speak that to anyone else.
Your headache begins to subside just a little bit.
I think it gets better when I use it. It hurts
That would make
less.
sense.
As this is going on, you see Eku now looking very concerned at both you and Thessalia.
I will grab Safi's hand and take her to the water.
Okay. You take her
Have a
to the
drink.
water and it has a mirror-like reflection. It is just clear as anything. And it's a beautiful like purple basin with these white motes floating above it.
Have a drink, it might help.
I will have a drink.
You dip your hands into it and you gather some water and place it in your mouth, and it is the most refreshing drink you have ever had. And you feel revitalized. Your
Is the
headache
headache still there?
Nope, your headache subsides after a few seconds of trying to gather your wits.
Any better?
Yes, this is much better.
Thessalia, as you are kneeling next to her and kind of aiding her in gaining this water, your head immediately, you blink and you begin to start flashing back, and your head begins to hurt as well, and now you are seeing flashes of memories throughout your head, and suddenly you are thrust back into that cold place that you were once in when you were with the Naga. You suddenly feel cold and damp, the smell of must and rot filling your nose. Dust falls upon your face. You look around and you see that you're in complete darkness and lying on your back. And you seem like you're in some sort of cramped container of some sort. You begin to hear muffled voices outside of the container. The muffled voices continue on, and the male voice you hear sounds extremely familiar to you, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You hear, "Many years ago, Ras Nissi turned on the people and abused my gift to him. I've been watching you as I watch over all my children. Ras Nissi has become a threat to not only the people of Cholt, but to the entirety of the world. What are you doing right now, Velisra?
Can I stand?
You attempt to move in any way, shape, or form, and your body is completely still and lifeless. You notice that you're not even breathing. Your eyes open and seeing, but not breathing. Your body cold, again, without moving and lifeless. You hear again, "You will go now and do what he could not. Do not abuse my gift as he once did." And Velisra,
I shall not.
as you
All Father.
move and try to do anything, you feel yourself begin to raise by the chest, and you feel your eyes open, and you're not breathing yet, but you push and you push and you lift this thing off, and it falls over this large stone covering, and you slowly lift half of your body out of what looks like a sarcophagus. And what you see now in front of you is a very dark figure of some large creature behind yourself. You are looking at yourself. And as you look upon yourself, as your eyes are, your head held high and your eyes low towards this creature, your hand is outwards in a raising motion. The vision, as you blink to figure out what's going on, the camera swaps vision, and you're now looking through what Velisra was looking through, the character you were just looking at. And now, seeing the creature that just popped out of this sarcophagus, you are now looking at an undead Chultan. Halfway out of this sarcophagus. What are you doing?
I will reach my hand to the creature.
The creature just looks at you lifelessly as it hangs its head kind of cocked to the side.
I will raise and grab its shoulders.
You raise your hand and its shoulders like move and begin to like claw and move out of the box.
You shall have a second chance of saving Jolton. Under my commands.
You hear a large like clanging noise behind you.
I'll look behind.
As you look behind, you notice that you're in a very nice looking room. It is almost nobility in looks. Give me 1 second. I lost the page number. I apologize.
Am I still super cold?
You are not super cold.
Okay.
Right here. You look around and you see as shadows dance over an opulent bedchamber. Cushions lie in one corner of the room and decorative shields line the walls. Treasures are heaped around the room, gold and silver coins everywhere. A gilded harp, jeweled wine flasks, pillows of silk, and fine clothes draped over wooden mannequins. To the east, an engraved stone disc is set into the floor in an alcove. And to the west, a rectangular steel plate mounted on the wall is polished to a mirror-like sheen. And as you look over to the bed, you see a creature that has reached out to the armoire next to the bed and knocked over what looks like a goblet of some sort, and then immediately looks up towards you, and you see the now emaciated body of Ras Nasi staring back at you, head wrapped in cloth, gigantic snake-like appendage below the waist. As he looks at you in the eyes, he lights the sword up next to the bedside on fire. And you blink your eyes, and you would have woken up in front of everybody at the altar of the Orlunga Oracle. And you are brought back to where you are sitting next to Safi, looking down, staring at the water.
Are you okay?
Rasnessy knows.
He knows what? He knows you're coming?
He knows I betrayed him, and I'm coming for him. We have to be extremely vigilant from now on. Do not use UNT. Do not speak my true name. We shall keep like we always were. And let's be as invisible as possible to the
As
other
long as you are
UNTs.
honest with us, Felista.
I will be honest with you, as long as it protects you. I will not speak truth that can lead to our demise.
We are just not a very disguisable group, though.
I know.
We'll try.
I don't think Rasnessy knows that I'm with you. But Rasnessy knows that I am coming to end his reign. My masquerade has been lifted.
You said Yanti spies found you in Port Nyan, Saru, right?
They did. They did not go back.
That is perhaps a good thing then.
It is. They don't only have UNT spies.
What
Some
about
people-
what about the flying snakes though? They were spies as well, right?
Sometimes. But they cannot differentiate one from another of our people. We can all charm them. This is why I have my little friend here.
I see. So
I
let's
don't
hope
think they would turn on
ones-
me.
Yeah, let's hope the ones in the city did not relay pertinent information.
Maybe someone at Camp Vengeance.
Also a possibility.
Maybe the Arakokra we saw.
Maybe the Naga.
I doubt
Right.
that Naga would help Rasnessy. She's in the same mindset as I. Is
But
it?
she
calm.
didn't get her information from herself.
I mean, it was an oracle.
An oracle that despises the UNCs. So I doubt she would help any.
She had nothing to gain by lying to us, so I think she
No,
was very truthful.
I think so too. Ooptao also came to me and gave me the same power Rasnessy once had. Reanimation of the dead.
That is amazing. Just when? Just now?
No, I just remember what happened when I was unconscious due to the oracles. Well, technically while I was dead during the oracles doing.
Ooptao
Ooptao.
himself?
Yes. As amazing it sounds.
As in those zombies we have seen?
Yeah. No, I can bring them back. They will help us.
I find that quite hard to believe. But are you certain it was Uptown?
So
The
Yes.
bringer of life that also brings unlock?
I'll tell you this. Do you really live to the fullest unless you've died?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
You don't know everything about life if you didn't die.
I, for one, don't intend to die.
You will one day.
that's one
And that's-
thing that's for certain.
That's part of life.
We
Yes,
will never
but-
truly know everything about life.
Yes.
That
But
is
life
coming
is a
back is
cycle.
not.
It's a cycle. If you want it or not, death is part of it. Life sprouts from death.
This power
death.
is dark.
But death is the end circle.
It is dark, but if I use it with wisdom, unlike Rasnessy did, it can bring a semblance of peace to Chult. If we fight fire with fire.
people will get burned.
People what?
People will get burned if you fight fire with fire.
It's either they are burned with fire, or their world is incinerated. Which would you pick?
There are probably many more options that we have yet to discover.
But we do not have time.
When can we justify the end to the means? When the means to the ends?
Exactly.
Use
We
this
can all-
power wisely, Felisra. Very wisely.
I shall.
And know that if you don't, we will be there.
Oh, I know.
Echo will step up to you. Echo will step up to you, Velisra. And she says, if it is true that CToTToA has granted you this power, he has only granted this to one other person, ever. And it was used against the world. If I see you using this power in any way but good, know that I will do nothing until you are stopped.
I second that.
I understand. But you do not have to worry, for I am wiser than Rasnasi.
I worry not about you. I worry about my people of Cholt.
If you would be to die in an unscrupulous way in the jungle, but you would all your life wanted to fight for that jungle, for Cholt, would you be glad that even in death, you could have helped achieve that goal?
If I die in the act of helping to prevent things from happening in my jungles, then I did not do my job.
And if you had a second chance, even in death, of repairing that mistake, could you tell me you wouldn't take it?
Thessalia know nothing of death.
Oh dear. I know everything of death.
But a small fraction. And she'll kind of and move over to the pool, and yet again begin to begrudgingly undress and slip into one of these side pools of water as she just leans her head back, allowing her braids to kind of fall along the sides of her shoulders as she looks up into the air, and she places her staff kind of like behind her head, and she grabs the staff and kind of uses it as a headrest and just looks up into the sky.
Our bodies are vessels for our souls. They are not tools, Melissa.
Why not? Who gave you your soul?
It always existed. It just found a place to wander this plane for a while.
Is that what you think?
I do.
That is also what my mother taught me.
Souls always existed, and fate doesn't exist. And that
No,
fate wasn't directed by gods.
no, that souls are always there. They just find a new place to live on this world. Then they move to the next and repeat. But fate is not sealed. We make our own choices.
I do not desecrate souls either. I use their ancient hosts as tools to achieve their own goal that they had in life.
If you could,
Eku will
with this
speak up.
ability,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you could reanimate the dead with this ability, do you think you could possibly do the opposite as well?
Killing people?
No, unanimate already undead.
No.
Stop zombies.
Sadly, I can't.
Why not? Like, if this ability gives you the tools to make zombies, should it also give you the tool to destroy them?
Not exactly, no. Construction and deconstruction are different. And undead, once animated, are animated for life, for eternity. They don't always answer to your call if you lose control over them. That's what happened with Raz and C. He abused it and couldn't control it all. That's why the jungles are infested with undead creatures that have their own agendas or impulsion.
Aku will again speak up from the pool to your side, and her eyes still closed, and she says, "The gift given to you by CToTtoA, even though it seems dark, it is a tool that you may use in good. The souls of the creatures that you are resurrecting are no longer part of the body. The body may waste away to better those areas of the jungle by providing nutrients and food for the creatures. But the soul resides somewhere else. So when resurrecting these creatures, you are not disturbing anything. But know this, that once you do, return these creatures to whence they came in order to feed the earth as they were meant to."
Yes.
Does this mean that I forgot the name already? Who's maybe your powers?
CToTtoA.
Does this mean you're CToTtoA's champion?
I suppose we all are.
No.
If
Did
we
he create
end,
the soulmonger by accident?
I don't think so. But
But he created all the zombies.
yes, he did.
So the zombies and the death curse are not connected.
Not for all I know, but I do not know everything that happened in there. I did not even know the existence of this Soong. Oh no, I did. Sorry. I don't know them personally, but I know their existence.
He
a lot of
knows
information.
them. Yeah, he
Yes.
knows of them, but not like details about them.
Okay.
I know they work with Fast and Sea, like a council or some sort. So maybe the Soon sisters did create the Soulmonger.
It is to capture souls, right?
Yes?
This
Yes.
thing. No, that is something that is.
But why would someone capture souls?
There is
Don't
power in
souls
souls.
give power?
Yes.
Yes, but if Rastassi wants to animate Dendar anyways, maybe their souls are used to fuel the awakening ritual.
Devils and
Yes.
demons feed on souls. Perhaps this creature is feeding as well.
Rastassi isn't a
I've heard-
demon.
It would seem that the souls that are being gathered would be the reason why no one is able to be resurrected, as well as those that had died previously are slowly withering. Something
Makes sense.
Something is interrupting the transference of their souls to the afterlife.
That would make sense then. But
So it is part of the death curse.
The soulmonger is, yes.
But
It
the
is.
undead roaming the area, they existed beforehand and were
Yeah,
created
they
by.
existed before the soul one.
yes,
Okay. I get it. I think.
Yes, long before the soulmonger was around, these zombies were roaming the jungles.
Aelin will walk away and take a seat on a plant or something.
Okay.
On a branch or something.
Yeah, you go to sit down on a plant, and when you like lean back, the plant moves out of your way as it is attached to an animal, and you kind of like sit
Oh.
on your butt.
Sorry. I'll
So-
look for a rock and sit on the rock.
Yeah.
And I'll tap the rock, see if it's not a creature.
hmm
If it doesn't move, I'll sit on the rock.
You sit on a rock, and then like the rock next to it that looks almost identical to it gets up and begins to move away.
This is
Cecilia.
such a confusing place.
Could you please reset your camera?
Sure. Aelin or mine? I'm sorry.
No, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Did that work?
Yes.
we
Okay.
I think there is one last thing I need to clarify. One thing I hope you may have been honest in, or something that I have understood perhaps wrongly. But on the ziggurat, you spoke of it being willing to die. Is that true? Are you willing to die for us?
I am unsure.
That's fine, but that is an honest answer I appreciate.
You don't have to be willing to.
I know,
That's asking a lot of anybody.
and I don't expect that from anyone either. Survival of the fittest, right? But if I am to die to Dendar's hand, might as well bring him down with me. So I would be probably willing to die to stop Rasnasi, yes.
I see.
So if anyone has questions, if anyone has feelings or anger they need to let out, now's the time. Morning King. This never happened, and we still use my original name, and we never speak of the UNT. Unless you want to be hunted down.
I think we already are.
You hear echo from the pool. Thessalia.
I like the
Yeah.
name change.
We shall keep to Velistra, though.
Well, the short answer is Val either way.
Yes. So, Cecilia, how do you feel now?
Hungry.
I guess that's good.
When we were doing our little drinking game in the dwarf's hut, you asked me what it would take for me to not like you anymore, or hate you, you said. And I didn't give you an answer because I want to think about it. I did, and I wrote it down. That was before we went into the ziggurat, and I wrote down that if you did something to hurt me or my friends, and you didn't feel remorse, and you didn't try to make it right, then I wouldn't like you anymore. And if it was bad enough, I would come after you and I would get even.
Well, I'm glad we didn't get there then.
I don't think we will.
I don't think either. That's a good thing. You helped me be a better part of myself. Your impulsivity and altruistic behavior that I shun you about, well, maybe I shun it because I kind of shows me that I'm not necessarily a good person yet. Who knows? Maybe we can go and I don't even know what you do for good in Waterdeep anymore. So
All the cool people don't hang out in Waterdeep anyway.
that's so 2008, right? But what I mean to say is, I think I'm a better person today than who I was before I met you guys. And seeing your good deeds and naivete and willingness to sacrifice yourselves for others have maybe shined a bit of light in my deep dark self.
You shouldn't make the mistake of thinking that, of confusing optimism with naivete. Because naivete comes out of ignorance, but optimism is one that anyone can make. Anyone can choose to do good things. You do not have to be a good person, whatever that means to you think.
We didn't have the freedom of experiencing emotions in Omu. It was cold thinking and blind following. Always.
I'm
So
not very good at either of them.
Yes. So seeing all of this is quite new to me. I don't really know how to compute it, and maybe it has grown on me a little, but just a little.
You should probably try to find like more than one example of someone to emulate, because honestly, I'm not the best person to look to.
I mean, the influence of everyone in general.
Yes. And I'm not gonna lie, but I am a tiny bit disappointed that you don't have scales.
I can have skills if you want.
Yeah, could you now? Can you do it right now?
Yes, I can. So I will cast my illusion on my arm. Do like skills, but I want to like hide my spellcasting or something.
Okay. Yeah. I would say for the sake of this that you're able to just kind of lift your sleeve, and as you do, make the semantic movement with your hand, and
Okay, great.
kind of just say, "Look."
There you go.
And,
I will wink at Safi and pull my sleeve back.
Okay. And with that wink, we'll go ahead and take a break real quick before we move on to what everybody else wants to talk about.
Yes, enough of me now.
Oh my freaking
No,
god!
I'm not saying it like that. I'm not saying it like that. What I'm trying to say is, if anybody else wants to talk to you about something, because this
course.
episode is all about you. You better get used to it. All right, it's cool. Yeah, we'll go ahead and be right back. What do you guys think of the little Feywild?
That's cool. I like the Feywild.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Miguel loves the Feywild. Villasra is like, "Ew, what's that shit?"
I like she walks through. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've never been in there in a campaign, so it was really cool to
No,
see.
me neither. It sort of messed up some plans I have, but whatever.
What were your plans?
Oh, you don't know. You don't need to know right now.
Oh, okay.
I've messed up
Oh,
some
so
plans I have.
Does it have to do with me or no?
No.
Okay, then it's good.
So me hiding stuff is bad, but you're just fine.
It's character growth. It's character growth, and I can't do it right now.
Okay, I must say that I am legit proud of you for not saying to the turtles, "Hi, my name is Aylin Jones." Perhaps you
Oh
can
yeah,
help me."
that's so funny. Yeah.
That's 10 out of 10.
This is another dimension. I don't think Aelin expects this turtle to know him.
Oh my god, wouldn't that have been so funny that the turtle was the only one person ever
Yeah.
to know Aelin Jones?
Of course.
Oh my god, are you Aylin Jones? But then very serious.
That would have been epic.
Are you
Alright, I'll be right back.
Aelin Jones?
Oh, I'm freaking down.
What am I hearing?
Yeah, it's echo.
Oh.
It's because I don't have my headphones.
Ah,
Okay. Also, yeah, your webcam is buffering.
Not right now.
Yeah, it is.
God, it's hot here.
Thank
I'm
you.
dying.
You missed all my laundering. It's so nice.
Shame. Oh, I love laundry. Oh. I'm gonna grab some Pringles.
Oh god, that would
I'll-
have. Why don't I
I'll go
have?
and get. You don't have air conditioning.
Oh, I don't have anything. I have a
Oh.
door that I have to close soon because mosquitoes are gonna start coming in.
Oh, poor you.
Well, I'm also slightly allergic to mosquitoes, so that
Oh
would
no, yeah.
be terrible.
I just have this giant metal fan right here that's just blowing cool air on me.
I can't wait for first day when that fan is gonna hit me.
Oh, we're so excited, and all of it. We both have to pack because we're leaving for our parents. Well, our separate parents' places tomorrow.
No, our combined parents.
Our combined parents' places.
Plot
your parents
twist! We're
live
related! we do everything a little bit differently here in Denmark. Everything is, you know, a group effort.
Don't all Danes know each other? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that a thing?
It is actually a thing. It's so rare to meet a person that does not know somebody that you know that knows somebody. Like,
well, there's not that many people, so that helps too.
yeah, that's probably why. Oh god, it's so hot. Oh, I have ice cream in my freezer. Maybe I should get an ice cream.
I'm bringing out the wine because this is a wonderful episode to just like drink, like as a DM, just like drink and like listen to the stories that you guys bring to me.
Everyone was so giddy for the first half hour. Yeah. It's crazy. We are so excited about this game.
I was fuming so much.
And you were fuming. Everybody else was giddy.
It was so hard to be like, oh, this would have been wonderful for Katie if it had been like one episode prior to this.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Dan, the Feywild, awesome, but it stops my plan I had.
Oh no, Aylin!
Why does the Feywild have to stop your plans? I don't know if I know your plans.
Because the thing I want to do can only happen when I'm in the same plane of existence.
Yep. That is why that message didn't work.
Plane of existence.
That's why that message didn't work.
Yeah.
Of course. Yep. So yeah.
Well, shit. I mean, I hope that it didn't like ruin something. Like ruin it.
No,
like, could you do it later, kind of thing, or is it?
I can do it later. It's just some character growth that would have been awesome in this moment, but I'll just do it once we get out of the Feywild.
Okay.
Oh yeah. One sec. I'll grab an ice cream.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh my god, and so sorry about breaking that tent. Well, I'll tell Aylin when he gets back, but I felt fucking horrible breaking that tension about what Velisra knew because I know I wrote that message. I know I did, but I guess I must have not hit enter or something, basically explaining what Aylin's his thing was, so that whenever, because I knew it was gonna happen. I knew he was gonna ask, what is this thing then? Obviously you're from Omu, you know what this thing is. So I was like, all right, Velisra, this is what his thing is, and this is where it's from, and stuff like that, so that it would be nice and smooth. But of course, as soon as it came up and he started spouting like this random, like, oh, it's a mural and stuff, like, I'm like, wait, hold on, I didn't fucking write that. And I started looking it up, and I'm like, no.
Well, mural temple, isn't that kind of the same thing?
It could be a mural on the temple, sure.
Yeah, like it doesn't have one thing doesn't have to, it doesn't have to exclude, like murals are a thing in temples.
Right, sure. So yeah, we'll say that is where it came from. I just felt so bad because I know I had written something that was actually like helpful, or you know what I mean, like foreshadowing and useful. And I was like, oh shit, he's like having to come up with it on the fly. I feel bad, like, and I would hate for him to like throw something in there that is really random and like makes it really like a non-important item kind of thing. So I had to like butt in before he was like, oh, it's, you know, a stepping stone. We use it to walk on.
Such a cool place we're in.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it.
The visual of it is just amazing. The turtle with the little light thing.
The creatures, the lights, the flow of the fog kind of coming out of his mouth, the blue beady eyes.
Yeah. The way you describe it, I can just like imagine it perfectly. It's so amazing.
The branches kind of coming off its eyebrows, creating almost like horns that have like cherry blossoms on the end. Yeah, I had this like in my head, like immediately as soon as I said ancient turtle inside of the Feywild, what does he look like? I was just like, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, okay. I was like imagining the giant turtle from in Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was imagining that creature.
Well, you said that, and then Miguel said that the Chewingas are giving him big Princess Mononoke vibes, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
yes, absolutely, yeah, definitely.
I can't stop thinking about Warcraft when you talked about the white little spirits. I see them as the little,
little
billows of
wisps,
Warcraft
the
3
wisps.
now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The little wisps, yeah, it's exactly that, but like, you know, small little motes of light. Kind of float up into the air and then dissipate.
And we got into work, my brother and I. We played tower defense for like 3 hours yesterday. It was so nice.
So
Like-
nice.
Like old school Dota or like tower defense, like as in actual like tower defense?
in Warcraft 3.
Oh, okay.
So, custom maps, but yeah, it was really fun.
I need to play that again. They're gonna do a remastered version of it.
Yeah, I saw. But I don't know when it's coming out. And I don't know if they were making a port for MacBook.
I think it's in winter or something, but I'm not sure.
I'm guessing it's been up on one of the big events. Yeah.
Yeah, at BlizzCon, I think.
I haven't really been following.
Reggie, are you there?
Yeah.
Is Reggie there?
Yeah, she is. She is.
Okay, can you restart your camera? Because it's muted for me. You're muted and it's giving me like a constant load symbol.
What's wrong with all the cameras today?
I don't know, man.
Well, it was like this last time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Never had any trouble. That's weird.
So we're all back. I have my wine. We can continue with the RP.
I'm joking.
All right,
I
so
put beer in the freezer. Maybe that would help too.
there you go. Coming back into
I
it.
have a stroopwafel that Geert brought me.
Nice.
Not fair. Would you trade it with my Magnum
Nope.
with white chocolate?
Oh, that sounds delicious. White chocolate Magnum. Okay, sorry,
know.
getting sidetracked. All right. So back into it. Safi explaining her, or not Safi, but Safi explaining her concerns with Velisra, and Velisra kind of giving her the talking to of or the answer to her never have I ever question. We continue on from there. As you look up in the sky, and the sky is now what looks like purplish blues instead of like dark black, but you can see stars just filling the sky.
I would like to sit down and start working on taking the flowers and some from the Feywild here and start working them into a single bouquet.
Okay.
I would like to actually also take a bath
Okay.
in that pool, but be like on the opposite side of it all. Be like giving Echo space and stuff.
It's one big pool, and then tiny little streams kind of coming into it like a waterfall.
Okay.
It's probably, I would say, about 20 feet wide, and then maybe 15 feet deep, or like this way long.
How deep is it?
The pool seems deep enough to like sit down perfectly for regular humanoid size.
I will get into, and then I will sort of slide underwater and see how water breathing works.
You slide underwater and you slide underwater and you kind of like panic for a second because you don't want to let go of the air that you're like used to, and then finally and you let go like a big thing of water of bubbles, and then before you even have a chance to go like to go panic, you kind of put your hands up towards your chest and you begin to breathe as if normal. And you can even hear the sound of your own voice almost in a very muffled or echoey noise.
Can I try to talk?
You
I
do.
try to say something.
Yeah, you
Testing,
talk.
testing. Blah, blah, blah.
And instead of the that you would normally get, you get a less muffled testing with maybe a bit of the syllables kind of fading off as the water eats them, but you are able to speak underwater without issue.
Cool. I will stealthily sneak over to where I see Cece's legs and pop up next to her.
Cece, very arms kind of crossed in front of her and like head barely above the water. So Sappy kind of just pops up in front of you.
Oh god, Jesus. I'm gonna have to get some time. I need to get used to this. There's no normal bathing anymore.
Sneak.
Oh my god. Oh, there's gonna be 3 of you guys. Oh my, we gotta sort out a roster or something so this doesn't keep happening. This is... Oh, you having fun?
Yes. Actually, I want
Okay.
to talk to you about something.
Alright.
Her gills are like gleaming and glittering, basically, with the fresh
I really
water on
don't
them.
like fish. Is this a good time to say that? Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm gesturing to where my clothes are. I have this rapier. It was a gift from my mom. It actually I'll just go get it. Just go underwater again, and then pop out on the other side of the pond, and then take my rapier and blobble back again, just because I can.
Sure.
Yep.
So instead of just now scaring me, you're now scaring me with a sword in hand.
Yep. The sword comes up first, like through the water, and then she kind of follows it.
It takes an enormous amount of core strength to get out of the water very slowly like that in just very shallow water.
Okay.
But I'm managing it. Yeah. Look, so it has this inscription on it, and you look down and you see that it says "Remember your footwork." My mom, she took engraving classes. It's supposed to say "Remember your footwork," but she's not the greatest speller.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah, she didn't really like the whole bow and arrow thing. She and my sister are very much, sword and board. It's the only way. But so this was sort of a compromise for her, giving this to me. She gave it to me when I left on my first expedition. With something with, remember your footwork on it. She's still my mom. But I think she would want someone to use it, and I'd like you to use it if you want, because it looks more efficient than your swords.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not sure if I can take it. It's yours and your mom's, and with everything that's going on, wouldn't you want something that she gave you to be close to you? I mean, I wouldn't just toss it like the stick. So
Well, I just saw
I'll
you,
keep it,
yeah.
But
No, well, my mom isn't one for ornamental stuff. Weapons are tools and they're supposed to be used. I think it would mean more to her if it got used by someone who has more use for it than I do. If I can have one of your short swords in return, then that would be great. Because you only have 2 hands for now.
yeah, I kind of got myself a little weapon arsenal going on right now. It is getting a bit crazy. You know what? Hold on. Give me a moment. I take it that I have my pack close by, within reachable distance, and
Sure.
I will take my first tiny little dagger that I wielded when I was small, the one that I tried to put into the monkey's hand, and my short sword, one of the two, and I'm gonna give that to her. Here, I think you'll also really like this little guy. And this has some sentimental value to me, and you can keep it safe, and I'll keep your ring.
If I die, you can take it off my corpse.
Okay, I will.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh, Cherry!
That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah.
Don't talk like that, Safi.
I said if,
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill her, don't worry.
not when.
Yeah.
You see her smirk and shake her head and still has her eyes closed and places her head back.
Oh my god, Eku, am I right?
What is she like?
I don't really know, I don't really talk to her. Yeah. I hope it treats you well. And thank you.
Thank you. How did it go for you at the Oracle?
It went okay, I think. I'm happy and really sad, I guess. I mean, nobody's dead on my end, so that makes me happy. It's, I'm doubting whether I should be here or not. If I haven't been wasting time while I should be somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, like, I like you guys. Enough.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not getting any ideas.
Yeah. But I found out that the person that I've been looking for actually just didn't leave me, but he was forced to. And he's in trouble and has apparently been in trouble for quite some time now, and they've taken him. And it's been months, and by months I mean literally like over half a year now. And I've just been scavenging and scouring and doing my thieving while he is somewhere out there. Well, I thought that he was just while I thought that he just left me. But I guess my selfish thinking caused him pain. Still causing him pain.
Well, I'm really sorry. But also, that's not really the first thing your mind jumps to, is it?
Well,
Oh,
no,
he must have been taken away by someone.
not really. And you know, we had this friendship where you didn't have to say anything to each other. You didn't have to be like, oh, you want to go for dinner in a bit? It was like, you look at each other and you know, like, you're hungry for a nice bun with some meat. But it's... I just keep thinking to myself every time that I close my eyes now is, if it were me, would he have been in this jungle right now? And not just out there looking for me instead. And that's what the Oracle told me.
I will attempt a hug. But like a
I'm
side
naked.
hug. Yeah, a side hug.
That was Cecilia half-heartedly accepting it, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. It's just I get physical when I don't know what to say.
It's alright.
It's a bit of a problem, to be honest.
It's okay. It's yeah, no, it's okay.
Bax, you got something?
Yeah, when the girls are done. Done? Good. Bax is finding Katie and like dragging her a little to the side.
Okay. Katie, what are you doing at this time? Or what would you be doing as everybody is kind of dispersing amongst this area?
I don't know. I think she'd just be sitting there. Like, I don't know if there's a bonfire, but if there's a bonfire, I would be sitting there staring into the fire.
There can absolutely be a bonfire if you'd like.
I would like there to be a bonfire.
Just use the non-walking sticks.
Yeah.
Oh no! I'm assuming it came with the pool and stuff.
Yeah, we'll say that there was a bit of what looks like dried sticks set up in a triangular-like formation that you could have lit in a hearth style.
Yeah, I'll just be staring into the flames.
Okay, Bax, you approach Katie as she sits there contemplating and staring into the flames.
If we ever get back to Waterdeep, will you take me back to Swinmore? Or please go with me?
Of course. Anything for you.
Thank you. I have to go see if they buried my father correctly.
So he's dead?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I am too.
Was that what you asked the Oracle?
I asked if he was safe. And I guess he is now.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
That's...
It's okay not to be okay. I don't really think any of us are okay. I don't know. This jungle is very dangerous, huh?
Yes.
But I feel like... I don't know how your powers work. They're very strange. But I got my powers from Millimeter. And I had some doubt if he was even there. And still, why would he not help more? But I think he's still there. I think I got some more magic.
You got more magic?
Yeah. At least tomorrow. And there's something that doesn't feel like the rest of his magic. Like, I think they're like the gills the other got.
Yeah.
But I think I have shapes. Like yours.
Like mine.
Yeah. Will you teach me?
I can try, but I don't understand it myself. Don't think I'll give much help.
Maybe.
I don't have control over it half the time.
Maybe. Did you get the answer you wanted to hear?
No.
Yeah.
She's...
Illuminator's words come more true and true.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Illuminator's words come more true and true.
What were their words?
This is the first day in the rest of your life. Live it well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means forgive and forget.
I don't think it does.
No.
I just think it means that every day is a new day, so it's never too late to try and do better. Be better.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing I got.
Well, that's not... Well,
Or
I
at
think
least
the
you
Naga
can't-
was a manipulative bastard, but... So I'm not sure what
think-
we're... Just look at what she did to her group.
She anchored us together.
By killing somebody. By killing
Well-
Melisra. If that's not manipulative, I don't know what is.
But also, not that I approve, but Val had been lying to us.
And that means you deserve to die? And she's not even really
Definitely
been
not.
lying that much. Like, she's not been lying about any important stuff.
No, I know. But still, she had a lot of information we had been trying to figure out.
Yeah,
But she didn't
but
disclose.
does that mean she deserves to be a puzzle? And die if we were not good enough to telling why she met it?
Definitely not. He's our friend.
Yeah.
There are some good people we found.
Yes.
I'll take out that little box that I gave to the monkey
Mm-hmm.
and take maybe half the purse in there and put into the fire and just sit
Okay.
there.
You open the prayer box, take out the papers, release them into the fire, and they burn. And when they burn, what you would believe to just turn into ash and float off in red embers, they hit the fire and light up blue, and white and bluish embers fly up from the fire.
I'd take her hand. And, yeah. What's it called? Squish it a bit. Don't do what you did by the fire earlier again. Please.
You see one of the pieces of paper that's once burnt had the bluish edges to it. Sprout butterfly wings. And just fly away.
I can't promise you that, Katie.
How do you think I would have felt if I'd been wrong and my thought would have ended in your death?
That's why I did it. Because
To make me feel like shit?
No, definitely not. Because
To make me regret
definitely
having a
not.
thought for the rest of my life?
No, Katie. That's why I should do it compared to the rest of you.
No.
Katie, I got this. I don't know if you notice, but whenever I go down, I don't. I get it back up at least once.
Yeah, but you don't get back up to full health.
I don't.
You don't get back up like fit and fight and ready to.
But we had to try your idea.
Yeah, and why does that mean that you had to be the one?
Because if it's been any of the rest of you, it might not have worked. And that
Why would it work better with you? It was my idea.
it was
And
your
if it had
idea.
been wrong, I
But
would have
we-
had to live with that death for the rest of my life.
We might not be able to save you. I at least had one chance. One good fighting chance.
It was unfair for you to do that.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Your life matters to me. Okay?
My life matters. I know.
Yeah, and just as much as the rest of us. You know that, right?
Theoretically,
Also, practically?
I'm working on it.
Let me help. Please. Let me help you. I don't want to be the reason somebody dies in our group.
Nobody wants to be the reason somebody died. You had a really good idea, and it was correct.
But it could have been wrong.
Well, you see what happens when we do wrong ideas. Look at Aelin. You get himself hurt all the time, touching things you shouldn't touch. Somebody has to test those ideas, but maybe sometimes we have to...
Yeah, they should be the one who gets your idea. We all do stupid shit. But the best we can hope for is that our stupid shit doesn't get somebody else hurt.
Maybe. We can't be sure.
But we can try.
There's not again.
Please don't take that choice away from me.
I'm trying to remember.
Thank you.
Aelin Kalimbar, during this time and this time of relaxation and kind of talking by the campfire, what are you guys doing?
Aelin is on the stone he was sitting on, and he's just scrolling through his father's spellbook, just one page after the other, just looking at them.
Aelin,
Scrolling.
you come across a page on that spellbook that you had remembered from quite some time ago, but didn't really understand it. But now, with your arcane knowledge that you've gained through these experiences of Chult and your studies, you notice that this page begins to make a little bit more sense, and that spell that we had previously gone over now comes to mind, and it seems a bit clearer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the Feywild, so...
Right. So, anyways, you get the idea, and you seem very frustrated.
Yeah.
You read it, and you're just like, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Kalimbar.
Yeah.
After finishing up on the flower piece, I would go and write a note. In the first half of my book, after the letters I've written, I will take out a page and I will write some things on it, roll it up, write a name on it, and then put my my family ring on it, closing the letter, placing it into bouquet, and then until Safi
And what?
waiting until Safi returns.
Okay. All right. Velisra, after these talking tos and the group kind of splitting off, people getting a bit of relaxation through the healing waters of this grotto, Aelin looking frustrated over on a rock reading through his spellbook, Bax and Katie sitting next to the hearth, kind of talking to each other and placing one arm around each other. What are you doing?
I would take a moment for myself at that point. And after a while, I would go and join Safi and Cecilia.
Very well.
So, I know you answered my question on how you feel, Cecilia, but you were the first person I connected with in this group. Your opinion matters to me.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Well, I don't hate you. That's what you want to know. I'm not exactly happy about all of this, but
Do you understand the reasons that made me not tell you everything?
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're asking a rogue if they've lied for, like, I know all about it. I know. I understand. It's just that I don't know. When I signed up for this, I didn't imagine that a plot twist like this would be part of the adventure. Let me just put it. Didn't really think that we'd be finding you dead on the floor somewhere. You know what I mean?
I didn't expect that either.
So.
That's far from my plans.
And you know, half of the people here, I mean, no, not even 90% of the people here don't even really know me much yet. And I get it that you're not exactly forthcoming about everything. It's just that I had a feeling that I did know, and I was definitely convinced about that feeling. And now knowing that I'm wrong pisses me off about myself because I should have known better. I'm not mad at you.
Though, the things I told you about were true. The only thing that changed is that it didn't happen in Waterdeep, it happened in Nomo.
Right. Yeah,
You still are the only one who knows about this.
I guess you got a point. Anyway.
And I'm sorry if this disappoints you, if it makes you feel upset. That was not my intention at all, but I'd like to think that you might be my first friend. If that's okay with you. Is that how that works? Effie, is that how it works?
Oh, that's me. That's Safi. That's Safi just going. Sorry. Should I can just go.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
she's testing her gills, and it was really creepy. She like stalked up to me with a rapier in her hand. I got that. Okay, that was not your question.
You see Sappy is in the water to where her gills are below the water, just like bloop, 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 bloop. But she's like...
That's totally how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would consider you a friend as well.
Wow.
And you too, Safi, shut up.
Well, thank you, I guess.
You're welcome, I guess.
That's gonna be just great.
Yeah. Gonna be great.
You want in on this
Snake
awesome
City.
side hug action?
Yeah, she likes
I have
hugging.
one arm open.
Let's make a group hug.
Oh god.
Awkward.
Awkward group hug.
Awkward
Yeah.
group
I
hug.
hate this.
No, but for real though, I'm gonna be like all truth from now on with you.
Okay.
With the reaction that you had. If that didn't change anything really,
It did. And let me
for
just... If you hadn't come clean at that moment, or at least told us what's going on in a broad idea. If you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have accepted the group hug.
yeah, I understand. But still, I mean, I think I trust you guys. It's not commodity from where I'm from my usual interactions. It's not how that works at all. Basically trusting someone is a noose around your neck, you know.
Mm.
So that's
Yikes.
shunned. Yeah.
Big yikes. Well, you always know what I think about stuff, because I'll just tell ya. So,
Then I will show you the same commodity.
thanks.
I think that's what friendship's about, right?
I
Being
think
honest
it
even
is.
when it hurts.
Yeah. Although I don't think
That
there's any
and
more room in our
hearts,
tent.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna say that outright. That's not just to shut you out right now, but it's literally a 2-person tent.
Oh, I don't want
Eku
I
will
don't want
actually
any
chuckle. Eku will actually chuckle for sure on that one. She could closed eyes, head back. She just hear her chuckle.
That's fine. I'll stay in my tent. I didn't intend to.
Intent.
Oh,
Wow. Okay, maybe she can be in the tent.
was that a pun?
No.
Are you throwing me out
Cecilia.
of my own tent?
Oh God, the puns.
Oh, it's
Well,
intense.
oh my god.
I hate myself. I know.
I can't take this anymore.
No.
She's like,
Stop.
So yeah, basically we'll talk a bit around the pool. Everything and nothing.
Cecilia, or not Cecilia, I'm sorry, Velisra, as you kind of are sitting there talking and just kind of getting the feel of the pool itself, that exhaustion that you had felt atop the spire or atop the ziggurat, gone. You feel rejuvenated, you feel almost brand new, especially coming back from that vision. You were a bit foggy in the head and almost in a pain, but once you entered the pool, all thoughts have been calming. All your ailments have been just whisked away. Aelin.
Perfect. That's great.
Yeah, Aelin is scrolling through his to the spell book, and he comes to the last page where he scribbled on all the notes. And he's looking at it, and he'll tear off the page, scribble it up, and light it on fire, and just let it burn away.
Oh, okay. All right.
The one that you make notes on about us?
the one that I made notes on about you guys, and it just burns away.
I mean, I would say it would take like not a lot of people would see this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the heads up. Kalimbar, you might see this on your way back to like the group, kind of just looking everybody over with your passive perception.
We're still at the
The fire, the little
fire, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we would see it.
I'd probably be around there as well, making the bouquet. So if Aiden's burning it up, I'm probably a couple of feet over.
Yeah.
So, are you all right there, Aiden? I've never seen you frown so deep.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay, Kalimbar. Things are clearer now.
They are? In what way?
I know things now, things that I didn't know before, and things I needed to know, and I know.
I see. Perhaps you've simply gained a new in.
Sort of. It was what the Oracle said to me. Things I needed to hear. Things I probably already knew, but I needed them.
I had answers similar to that. Do you feel like sharing?
Well, you go first, Kalimbar.
The things she told me are things I was pretty certain of before. I asked her if what I was doing was enough for what we are undertaking. For you, all of you. And she said that basically what I'm taking away from it is that my words are not always the right thing. For some people, they will work. For others, they may not. But the things that I will do, those things will matter. And if I share myself, my heart, then perhaps you will share some light with me.
Were you doubting yourself, Galambar?
We are on a crazy adventure. It has brought us to the Feywild. It is
Yes.
beyond anything our people have done, I think, in that. So there is a birth, and with that, there are all your lives. So I'm not necessarily doubting. I am worried.
I'll put my spellbook down, I'll get up and I'll give Galambar a hug.
Awkward hug.
Big buddy
Yep.
hug.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you
And
know
I'll
what?
just say to-
Aylin's hug feels heartfelt versus the normal buddy hugs that he get with like a big slap on the back. This one feels a little bit more heartfelt.
I'll just be like, Galambar, don't think I've ever told you, but you're a friend.
You've
A real
spoken that,
friend.
but it's good to hear that in words, finally.
And I wouldn't want to do any of this without you.
Same to you. I think you are my first real friend outside of the village. Yes, you certainly.
As well, fate brought us together.
Are you talking about the tiefling girl or?
I don't think her name was Fate.
That was Mirth, I think. Anyway, what did the oracle tell you?
Well, I asked the oracle if what I was doing would make my father proud.
You doubted
The
that?
I did. I don't know why I did, but I did. But the oracle said to me that he was always proud of me and that he would trust me in treading my own footsteps, making my own way and solving everything that needs to be solved. And I know some things I have to do now. Solve things to make my own way.
Do you know them or you feel them?
I know and fear them.
Feel, with your heart, I mean.
Oh, feel. Sorry, you were speaking half Elvish and half.
Yes, it happens. I'm sorry,
If,
it's the split.
if you're choosing one language, you should commit, Calabar.
Sorry, I'll swap to Elven.
No, yes, I feel it and know it. Something I should do, something I should have done a while ago.
What are you planning?
Well, can't do it right now in this place. I'll do it tomorrow when I can, when we're out of here.
Well, if you need some privacy, I can keep the others away from you.
No, it's fine. Don't need any privacy for it, don't worry. It's a spell, so it's okay.
Oh, you figured out a new spell again.
It's not a new spell. It's one my dad made.
But
When
if
my dad
you
taught me.
If you are doing it, it will be a new spell in its own right. The weave will move in a
Yes.
way that's
But it's
probably unique.
I guess it's a spell my dad created, but something I need to do.
Don't sell your skills short, Aiden.
I'm not, but no, I learned everything from my father and at the academy, so
I do not understand a lot about arcane magic, but what was taught to me about it is that it is quite similar to the shaping of wood, of making statues. A master can tell you a million techniques, and you can master everything he tells you.
Of course,
But
but if you do not have the talent for it, you'll never do it.
Yes. But as soon as you take up the tools, Aiden, when you start working the wood yourself, then it's not the master skill you're using. It's your skill. It's your creation. It is something new.
Yes. That is something I must do. I cannot keep relying on that, and I'll point to my father's spellbook. I can't rely on that.
You can learn from it still. And then master your own.
No. It's like the oracle said. I have to tread my own path.
Exactly. Create
Aelin-
your own
Okay.
sculptures.
Aelin, as you kind of take in the fact that you're, speaking of your father's work and everything like that, you look up into the sky and you notice that the stars themselves, they're not the stars that you're used to. They're not normal stars. They're not here and there and sparsely placed and some brighter than others. Almost all the stars themselves seem very similar in nature. But as you keep speaking of your father and thinking of him, you look up into the sky as you speak to Kalimbar and you notice a single shooting star across the sky.
Galen will have a little smile. And he'll wipe away a little tear that's forming and he'll get rid of it real quick.
Lots of vapor in the air, huh?
Yes, it's all this water and these things in the sky, those little light bulbs. I think I might be allergic. Anyway, I
You see a strange leaf kind of flying in front of you, almost like a butterfly, but it's shaped exactly like a leaf. It's shuddering, very weirdly flying.
I get that our ancestors are originally from this place, but man, this is so weird.
I like it here.
It is cool, but weird.
Everything is stronger here. I like it.
Yes. Well, I think I'm going to take a bath as well. It's been a while.
Perhaps I will do so later.
All right.
Very well. Enjoy your bouquet.
So,
Thank you.
Safi and Cecilia and Velisra, and you see even Eku has finished her bathing, just kind of allowing enough time after about an hour's time of just kind of sitting and relaxing in this soothing pool. You see Eku exit the pool, retrieve her clothing, and then of course she actually takes her clothing and begins to kind of wash certain parts of the clothing to ensure any kind of dirt or must, anything like that, kind of comes off. Places her clothing back on, begins to set up her small little tent.
I'll head out of the water and put my clothes on, but not my armor, and head to the fire.
And
Start cleaning.
you still see, sitting by the fire, you see a brooding Katie and Bax kind of just sitting there, kind of almost head on shoulder, but very just side by side, not necessarily head on shoulder, but kind of side by side as they look just endlessly into the fire.
I'll come with Safi too. Are you coming, Cecilia?
Cecilia, what you got?
I want to get out as well, and I want to start setting up my tent.
Sure.
And I need to start writing for a little bit. Make my notes of the day and of a ginormous talking turtle.
Sure.
And I also want to try the codex again.
All right. You want to try the codex? Roll a d20 for me, please. This time with advantage.
Oh, what? Okay. Oh, clicked the wrong one. That I'm rolling 2. Well, you can, it's
2d20?
a 12, but
No.
I clicked it the wrong way, but you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it. Like,
Well,
it's
I
two
don't
degrees.
want it to be ruined like that. Roll a d20 and then roll another d20 after that.
Okay, cool. It's a 1. That's an 11.
Okay.
16.
All right. With the 16, you hear a small when you turn one of the little letters or the symbols as you move one of the things, and it locks into place. You have a series of 5 different circles that have different symbols along it. And the first one, you've been turning and turning and turning it, but you just haven't found it out. You haven't really just figured it out. But with the silence of the nighttime aspect of where you guys are, and your closeness of it, and your concentration, the advantage that you've gained through trying to figure this out. The first one, you have very, very, very slight click within the object itself.
1 out of 5. Nice. Alright. I'm just gonna get ready for bed.
Sure.
I guess. We're camping up right now, right?
Yep. Yeah, by now it was nighttime, like almost nighttime when you first started on the ziggurat. By now, it's probably closing in around 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah, it is done socializing.
It is, got it.
Yeah. At her quota.
So she is kind of just bunkering in for the night. Cecilia not Cecilia, I'm sorry. Belisra and Safi, you approach as Bax and Katie are at the fire, again brooding over their conversation.
And Kalimbar's there too, right?
Kalimbar was talking to Aelin, but he could definitely see you actually exiting the pool and making your way over there.
Oh, okay.
If he wanted to interrupt or something along the way. If not, then you would have seen him and Aelin talking and then made your way over towards the fire.
When I'm with Aelin, so you can easily...
Sorry, you're cutting out.
If I was distracted by Aelin, you would have walked past me easily.
I would have... What?
You would have walked by him easily.
Yeah. Yes.
Past him, you mean?
Yeah, like completely past him.
Okay,
He wouldn't, and
sure.
then you make it to the fire with Velisra and now Bax and Katie there.
I'll sit down, eat some food, clean my arm. Feed, wait, are there dinos nearby? In our little grove?
Yeah, the dinos are not too far off, probably like 10-15 feet away from everybody, but they're all kind of huddled up. At this point, they would have gotten tired enough to where most of them have kind of curled up within themselves, kind of, both feet underneath them, almost chicken-like, and are, head curled around their bodies, and most of them are sleeping at this point.
Okay, well, if he's sleeping, then I'm not going to bother him.
Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock at night. They're pretty tired.
Okay. I'll sit by the fire for a bit, clean my armor.
Okay. Cleaning your armor.
Does it look like it's gonna rain?
Absolutely not. It's a clear sky, but the stars look weird. They do not seem like the stars you've seen before.
Katie, if you want, you can put up the tent, but I think I'm gonna sleep under the stars tonight. It's really strange and beautiful here.
I was gonna do the same.
What about you, Safi?
Oh, I'll look at the tent where Cece disappeared into without saying it.
Yep, you see Cece's feet kind of poking out the end of the tent and an empty space kind of next to her. She's already made like the little backpack barrier.
I think I'll stay out here too. I think she needs some space.
You can borrow a tent if you need to.
No, I don't sleep by my...
I'll look at Val. And you?
I might do the same.
It's gonna be nice. I read about sleepovers as a child, but I've never had one.
We've had one since like in 3 months, like over a month now.
What is that?
Sleepover.
It's where you gather all your friends, sometimes divided by sex though, and then you just talk all night. It
Eat
sounds
too much
fun.
sugar.
That sounds dangerous.
Oh my god! I was hanging on every word, Ballista. I was hanging on every word, and that pause was like, "What's he gonna say?" I'm sorry. I
Well,
love
I don't think we're gonna have to keep watch here.
it. I was,
No, but-
yeah, good.
Yeah, no, I think we're fine. I would still have it. Someone keeping watch though.
Yeah, it
Just
would
in
be
case.
it would be sad if this was the end because we thought we were safe, and we weren't.
Yeah. I agree.
Then let's set up a watch.
You can skip it if you want. I can take the first. I don't feel tired anymore.
If you want, I can also take the first watch. I'm not tired.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
I was gonna offer, but yeah.
Okay, that's cool too.
Is the stars bright enough for me to be able to see if I take second watch?
The whole area itself is giving off dim light.
Okay.
What is this about taking watches? As Calambar would say, walking up to the group.
I'll take
Okay.
second watch.
Are we doing watches? Is that it? Because I need only a couple of hours of rest and could take it from there.
No, that sounds good. So I'll do first and Katie second, right?
I can do the last one as well.
Kalambar can
you
take
and-
the second and the last one with his rest.
Yeah, but having a buddy is sometimes nice.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
nice.
I meant like along with
yeah.
one person.
Whoops!
Having the two of you sounds good.
I rolled 18 though.
You are quite okay.
Pax, you suddenly feel.
Was that my mosquito roll? Was it my mosquito roll?
You
From
wish.
drumming
You
it up.
wish. You wish.
That's what you should have asked the oracle.
Oh,
Do I really need this shit?
yeah. Yeah, I do. It's really dangerous. You can get sick.
That's what we have clerics and druids for, right?
And paladins, apparently.
All right. So who is taking first watch?
I am.
Okay, Velistra and Bax. All right. Who's taking second watch?
Aelin is still bathing, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Well,
Kalambar and who? Katie. Kalambar, Katie, and third watch
Oh yeah, third watch.
is Safi and Kalambar. Yeah. All right.
Oh,
No problem.
okay. Okay.
I'll sleep out here if that's okay with you. It's not personal.
Sure.
You can hug the rapier if you want.
that sounds dangerous.
I can hear
There's a
you
sheep. That...
Why is everybody yelling?
We're having a sleepover.
What is a sleepover?
It's very dangerous.
She goes, don't die.
Again.
Oh man, this is so wholesome. Okay.
All right. So as you guys all approach the end of the night, the sky above you rotates almost at an increasing speed. You see the stars are just moving and moving and moving. You can actually see the movement of the stars above you. The first watch goes by, nothing but starlight and almost silence as you hear the running of creeks and rivers, or not rivers, but the creeks and the waterfalls falling into the small pond in front of you. Yes, what was that, Katie?
Yeah, well, it can wait to second watch.
Sure. First watch passes by, no issues. None whatsoever. Second watch pops up. You're able to wake Katie up and also Kalimbar. You got something, Katie?
Yeah, I would like to go over to the water and try and look down into it because it seems very clear, right? Almost like a mirror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want to sit down and not touch it, and I want to try and think of Wayme and where she might be, because I think I've heard like childhood bedtime stories about looking in on other people through other planes.
You're looking for Wayme?
Wayme, yeah.
Your sister?
No,
who's Wayme? Which one?
the tiefling.
This is the weird backstory thing we don't know anything about.
Emma is my sister. Wayme is the tiefling girl.
Okay, alright. Sorry, my apologies. I should have done my research, but yes, no, I totally forgot about the whole tiefling thing. But yes,
it's only important to me.
I know, and it was just last episode we talked about it. I totally forgot. My apologies. So, anyways,
It really isn't that important.
you look into the water for a moment, and it is quite still, minus the fact that there are small waterfalls falling into it. It's not huge waterfalls. It's a very small, like, trickle of water falling into this large pool of water, but it is causing a bit of a disturbance. So you look into it and you see your face shining back, and it ripples just slightly. And you concentrate, and you concentrate, and you see what looks like the slight image of her face smiling. But then it ripples away, and you see your own face yet again. But you have but a tear falling into the water. And that's what you see.
I'll go back to the bonfire and join Kalimbar for watch.
Yep.
How are you doing, Katie? You seem a little shaken as well. But now...
I sound better than you because you sound like a robot.
Cal,
Oh,
yeah, Cal, your mic is a bit off right now.
is it?
Yeah,
I
it is.
heard every second word. Do you want to switch to Elven?
Switch servers.
I don't think he caught that.
Yes.
We'll switch servers and we'll switch to Elven. Let's see how this works. All right, we're now talking Elven. Let's see how he does. Go for it.
Is Elven better?
It sounds like
much
it.
better.
Sounds much better.
Yeah, I think you might be a little bit tired.
He's still recovering from his meditation.
Yeah. You're slurring your words a little bit when you speak common.
Sure.
Like swallowing the ends and stuff.
Yes, it's been a long day, and I was wondering how you are doing. You seem a little shaken now, and you saw a little shaken earlier.
It's been a shakeful day.
That is one way to put it.
Well, this we're dying. You're not helping. The Naga being manipulative. I can't say that word. It's hard to say in Elven.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah.
Manipulative?
Yeah, Elvens, they don't really deal with manipulation too much, so yeah.
Yeah, they don't use that word much.
No.
Yeah.
I see.
People rushing in after all that just happened with the test and stuff. It's just...
Yes, we rushed through the portal before and to the Feywild as well. Seems a bit reckless, but then again, sometimes it is.
Then again, it's okay when it's you that do it and not me and Aelin.
A reckless action? Well, as long as
Endangering
it's-
the group in reckless action,
Did I?
rushing in without talking to the group first. Did you
mean
know
with
what was on the
portal
other
here?
side?
There was no danger, certainly.
How did you know?
That I knew. I hear many things in the wind.
In that split second.
Yes? It's a way of listening. It's a way of seeing beyond what's right in front of you. I think you are familiar with it, but maybe not as practiced yet.
I think you're just trying to look for excuses, to be honest.
I am not. I am
Okay.
being honest with you. I see no reason to lie to you. Not on matters.
You would have other reasons to lie to me.
Yes, if it comes to helping people find them. Sometimes there are little tests that can help us gain new and sometimes truth. Some sides very hard to see. A lie is just another perspective in many ways.
I'm not sure I agree with that.
You don't have to.
Nah, that's true. We don't have to agree about stuff.
But it's nicer when we do.
It makes things easier.
Would you prefer me speaking out before rushing into strange portals or fires or anything?
I feel like you would prefer me to do that, and I would like the respect of you doing that then.
I will see what I can do. With respect, there are still some things you need to do before you've truly earned mine.
Mm-hmm. What would that be?
This is something I would lie about.
You'd lie about what I would need to do.
Yes. Because I think when you gain this insight yourself, you will know the things you need to do, or well, there is nothing you need to do to prove yourself to me. Let's be clear about that.
Okay.
But there are things I hope you will come to see yourself, and that will earn my.
I was trying to find a girl in the water just before.
An important
That-
girl?
She used to be, I guess.
Oh, that sounds a little sad.
I haven't seen her in a couple of years. But I was hoping I would be able to see if she was well, how she was doing, wherever she is.
Seeing beyond what you can see, I understand.
Yeah, like we have these stories I was told as a child by my mom about the Feywild and about how people could look into others' lives through the waters. There would be tiny windows. I don't know if they're true or not, but I thought it couldn't hurt to try.
And are you talking about spells for this? Certain magics?
I don't know. I didn't try and do anything magic. I don't think I could do anything like that.
If you have not tried, you do not know if you can.
But I did see her, kinda.
Well, there's a start.
Yeah. That's what I was doing anyways.
Why was
I
she
tried
important,
to
if I may? Perhaps?
your question earlier.
What do you mean?
You asked, like, how it was, I guess. Why I looked so shaken. And I didn't really tell you. Not truly, I guess.
Because you saw a face that is important to you.
That I wish didn't matter anymore, I guess.
Why, if I may be so bold, but why do you think she still matters?
She was, you can always ask me stuff. She was my She was my first love, I guess. She showed me different perspectives on how to see the world, and she taught me a lot of stuff, and I'm grateful for that.
Love tends to do that.
But the
But not
world
anymore.
the world apparently didn't want us together.
Such a cruel place, this world.
Yeah, well,
But
people are cruel.
fair enough.
The world is neutral.
It cares. Well, in some regards, it can. But what happened? Why were you forced apart?
She was, she's a tiefling.
The horns, the tail, that kind.
And the horns, and the infernal, and all the stereotypes, I guess.
I am
People
somewhat
think of them.
familiar.
When you look like the devil, people tend to think you're evil. They're not really seen as good people in Waterdeep. And, yeah, people tended to blame them whenever anything bad happened or illegal happened.
Tieflings,
was-
tieflings suffer from extreme racism, and that's pretty much known throughout the realms.
Perhaps that is why the one I spoke to was happy that I didn't have such prejudice.
Yeah.
I understand a little more about this now. That is interesting. She was a victim of this quick judgments as well, I take it.
Who?
Your girl. What's her name?
Wayme.
Wayme. Excuse my pronunciation.
It's okay.
Translate.
She taught me infernal.
Ah, you heard you use that tongue before. It gave me the chills. I don't know why.
Probably because it's very closely attached to elves and stuff. But it's a native language, so. Well, anyway, she just worked in a kitchen. And she was like on her way home one day. And like I think the day before there'd been a break-in, a robbery close by, and an old guy had gotten killed, which is terrible. But these people were convinced it was the work of tieflings, and they were out for blood and attacked her. And like she'd experienced a lot of hateful words and stuff before, but she's always powered through it and felt like showing weakness would just let them win. But I guess this was too much. Chasing, my phone is ringing. And this was just too much for her. So after that, she just left one day, moved back to where her parents are, where they're from, and haven't heard from her since.
That must have left a wound.
I understand why she did it.
Doesn't take the pain away.
Nah. Well, it does take the anger away. I don't blame her for it. It's probably the right choice for her.
But not for you.
Maybe, in the long run. We taught each other a lot. And just because it ended doesn't mean that it had needed to go on forever. Or that just because it was good meant that it had to last forever.
Winter always comes. Is your spring coming again?
You're roboting out a little bit.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me try that. Calamber said,
Here we go. Let's go.
comes.
All right, go back to common. Let's go back to common.
Yes. Winter always comes, but has spring come for you again yet?
What do you mean?
Sometimes it's just the nature.
Oh goodness, common sucks. All right,
Yes,
we will
Elvish
just
was
go back to
better.
Elvish. Oh shit. All right.
Elvish again.
Elvish again. I'm sorry.
We're just switching up all the languages. Yes, try to Woven next time.
Don't make me go Dwarvish, but we'll all get fucked up.
No, I don't understand that perfectly.
All right, sorry, Kalimbar. Carry on. Explaining the difference between winter and spring.
Winter and spring. Eventually, good things will be covered by time.
Yeah.
Their memory remains, and they allow new things to spring, to bloom. So is it winter for you still, or is spring coming?
I don't think it's winter anymore, if that's what you're asking. I'm not in love with Wayme anymore, if that's what you want to know. She's a part of my past, and she was an important person, and I just wanted to make sure she was okay.
I understand. It's good to hold on to at least the memory of love.
Yeah.
They are memories worth treasuring.
They'll come again someday. Love, I guess.
I would hope so.
So, as you guys finish up a nice kind of remembrance of this long lost love and friendship that Katie once had, we move on to the third watch. Katie finding Safi, waking her up. Safi, you are now awake for the third watch with Kalimbar as you guys start your watch. Kalimbar, did you have anything?
Yep, I do.
Okay.
Did you sleep well, Safi?
Yeah, I did. Better than usual.
Any good dreams this time?
No, not particularly, but not bad ones either. So I'm calling that a win.
That's something. I have something I've been meaning to give you. Words I wanted to share, but I think you are the kind that prefers them in writing. Makes them easier to believe, right?
I
Because
guess.
they are very true, and I just want you at least take these flowers. We've gathered them together, and they are fond memories.
Oh, you roboted out a little bit on the end there.
They are a good memory of you, with you. So at least take them for a while. Okay.
You see a very incredibly woven bouquet, elven quality, of course, of Cholton flowers and now Feywild flora, woven into this beautiful bouquet with this piece of paper, this note stuck inside.
You made this for me?
Yes, I had some
Thank
time
you.
on my hands.
Yeah, you do have time.
Perhaps
Thank
than
you.
you already know. Also, I think you like trinkets, so there's a little something special in there for you.
Can I read it now, or do you want me to wait?
You go ahead. Let's see if I can share this over Discord, and I will read it as well, because why the hell not?
I was about to say sure.
Because again, the note was rolled up, and the brass dragon holding it together.
Right?
And as you take it, and it starts with Alvirin, which means eternal flower or undying flower.
Oh,
You will always know where to find me if there is any burden on your heart, or when there is no reason for you, I will always have time. Your friend, Kalimba.
You gave me an elven name?
Yes. For you, I found one that makes a lot of sense. For me, it's a little harder.
I've actually made elven names for a few of you in my journey. It's a coincidence.
Just a coincidence then.
They're really nice, thank you. I'm glad we finally get to talk a little bit. I feel like this is overdue somewhat.
It's all been quite a rush into the city. Even that, we had scarcely the time to share.
Sorry.
Oh!
Yeah. Like the whole first part of this.
Okay.
Let's try Draconic.
Not going to rush the servers, alright?
Is it better now or is it still terrible?
No, you're good. It really is just sporadic.
Yeah.
I will keep an eye on my connection. Maybe that matters. Oh, I spiked before, so that was it. As I was saying, since we left Porto, the gold coin when he joked with Aelin about being his friend for a silver.
Mm-hmm.
And then it somehow seemed
goodness.
I feel like I'm missing all the important
words.
Oh,
I know, and I'm like on every word again, just like wanting to hear every single word, but yeah, I'm sorry, you're breaking up really bad.
My connection seems fine though, so it's
weird. Yeah, I wish there was maybe like one more server here in Europe that I could go to.
It's fine when you're just joking around and
right, every time you're just like, oh yeah, am I good now? Yeah, you're fine, but as soon as you start speaking, it's like, nope.
No, there's too much emotion, the connection can't handle it.
I got nothing. All the other ones are shit servers compared to us, what we got. So just carry on and we'll keep trying to go. We're at 11 o'clock right now, so let's try to, I'm not saying speed it up per se, but I am saying this will be probably the last bit of RP for the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I don't see you anymore.
Yeah, I switched off my cam.
That's fine.
Maybe.
Yeah, let's see if that helps.
So what was the last you called?
Oh god. I don't completely. Can anyone help me out here? What the last thing was?
I mean, truthfully, he was breaking up so bad it was hard to follow.
Yeah.
So
after leaving,
I'll start over.
It was something about Ramser and Aelin buying his friendship for a silver.
Yeah. So when he was joking around about that, and I gave you a gold coin, you know. Okay. It was a little of a jest and a little of a wish, because in you it is clear there is a heart that is undying, and that is worth a great deal when it comes to friendships.
Well, for you, my friendship is free. I mean, okay, just one bouquet, and then after that. If you do have any more bouquets, though, keep them coming, because this is awesome.
Help me gather flowers, and I will make you as many as you wish.
You know what? Yeah. I've been kind of angry with you a little bit after what happened with what you said to Katie and Aelin, how you chose to say it, mostly. But then, well, it doesn't really matter now. Anger never really mattered. It's what's underneath it that's important. And underneath, I was just sad. I was sad for a bit and hurt, and then I just thought about it for a long time, and I realized, way back in Port Nyanzaru, actually, from the moment we met, I put you on a pedestal. You know, I took everything that my father told me about elves, what they're like, and I put that onto you, and I shouldn't have, because it didn't leave room for you to be an actual living, breathing person instead of, this picture of an elf with capital E. So I set you up for, letting me down or hurting my feelings, and then I spent way too much time being angry with you and not nearly enough worrying about how you're doing, because I think you're not too great. I think there's something you're not talking about, with me at least. Maybe it's that life here just goes so fast compared to what you're used to.
That is a big part of it, yes. There is very little time to really think about anything, to see where our paths may lead. Before you know it, we are speaking to an oracle, and minutes later we are walking the Feywild. Or
Yeah.
Aiden is touching things he shouldn't and destroying things that were worth the memory. Or there are so many things that should be said between us. Felistra is just another example. And for some reason we are not finding time, and we are only rushing ahead. And of that comes hurt, and that is what I fear. I deeply fear.
Well, hurt is inevitable in this world to some extent.
Yes. But that
You just try to collect enough of the good stuff around you that it balances out, I suppose.
I see what you're saying. I still believe pain is something that can be avoided if we take time to think or to feel or to look a little beyond what is right in front of us. Speaking of Aiden and Katie, apparently I hurt you because I did not see you then.
No,
Did
there
not
are so
feel out
many
here.
of us. No, well. I forgive you for the hurt you didn't know you put on me, if that means anything.
That means an incredible deal, yes. Thank you for that.
Just be mindful of where your own limits are.
Yeah. They are flexible though. And I have a goddess backing me up, so that makes me even more bouncy, if that's the right word.
It's a good word. I'll go
And
read
you-
your note now.
Yeah. As Safi kind of goes and takes her bundle of flowers off into a bit of a secluded corner, Kalambar, you breathe deeply as the smells of this forest instead of the jungle fill you with a bit of a glee, as they smell sweet and they smell foreign, as opposed to the desiccated and just drowning and dead and just disgusting smells and sweat-filled areas of the swamp and forest that you've been drearing through.
It's like home away from home.
It is home away from home, in a sense, even better than home. It's like smelling pancakes, in the morning before you wake up, and you wake up to that smell. It's just like that. You feel that kind of sensation. And as you do, Safi, you continue reading. You see break of daylight as daylight begins to come up above the treetops there. And you start the new day. And as you do, everything around you vanishes. And you are inside of the jungle yet again. Even Safi and Kalambar, the ones who are awake, you suddenly, something that you are sitting on, Safi, as you are reading this, disappears. And you land on the ground. Kalambar, you're standing there looking up, and you can see past a tree. It's suddenly blocked by a large palm leaf. And you look around, and you have never seen this part of the jungle before. And nothing around you looks familiar at all. And that is where we will end today's session.
Oh
Nice.
snap. We're lost, guys.
Well, we're never getting home again. Yay!
Yep, that's it.